From Baylor Ballpark in Waco, Texas, welcome in to Baylor Big 12 Baseball. Tonight, the series opener between the 20th-ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys and the Baylor Bears. Hi, everybody. Welcome into our broadcast. John Morris alongside former Baylor standout, former Major Leaguer Pat Combs. We're glad you're with us, Pat, as the Bears begin their final home series of the season. This is a big one against Oklahoma State.
Yeah, no doubt, John. When you consider Baylor really on a great roll here at the Big 12 play, but a 99 record. Really key for Baylor coming into this weekend. Their RPI is kind of right on that border of making the tournament, and what makes it look good for that tournament committee for the NCAA. So big weekend for the Bears. Oklahoma State as well. They're 3 wins away from clinching the Big 12 regular season title, so both teams a lot to play for tonight.
Baylor's won 12 games in a row coming into this game tonight. Oklahoma State has won 7 conference games in a row, so both teams playing really well. Andy Thomas, a big part of that offensively for Baylor.
Yeah, he really has been, John. And, I call him Mr. Steady in the middle of that Baylor lineup. Just a very unassuming guy. Doesn't look like he's much at the plate, but then he just continues to hit. And how about leading the Bears in hitting, 359 average this season? But he's that guy right in the middle between Davis Wenzel and Shea Langoliers that really steadies that lineup, and he hits to all parts of the field. Very difficult guy to pitch to.
Baylor, number 2 team batting average overall on the season in the Big 12 Conference. For the Cowboys, leading the Big 12, Colin Simpson has been the big bat, their home run and RBI leader.
Yeah, he really has been, and when you watch him, you'll very much see why. They call him the Tank, and he fits the bill well. At 5'9", 225 pounds, but he's got a lot of pop in that bat. Leads the Pokes in home runs with 15, RBIs with 44. Outstanding hitter at the plate. Really tough out just because he's a compact guy to pitch to. But you're right, John. When he puts the ball in the barrel of the bat, it really travels a long way. So they'll have to do a good job of keeping his bat under control throughout this series.
All right, the wind is blowing out here at Baylor Ballpark. It's game 1 of the Big 12 series. Baylor and Oklahoma State coming up from Waco from Baylor Vision on Fox Sports.
Will change the world. Girls Inc.
Baylor Vision on Fox Sports is brought to you by Baylor Scott & White Health, the official healthcare provider of Baylor Athletics. By Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Texas Farm Bureau members can get tickets to Baylor home conference games. Email Baylor Tickets at img.com to claim your tickets. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is a proud corporate sponsor of Baylor Athletics. And by Ford. See your best in Texas Ford dealer during Truck Month. It's buy now time. Ready for first pitch tonight, Baylor and Oklahoma State. This series opener from Baylor Ballpark. Let's give you the keys to the game, brought to you by Baylor Scott & White Health, the official healthcare provider for Baylor Athletics.
Well, for Baylor, just really staying disciplined with their approach. What's really worked well in scoring these 84-something runs in about the last 40 innings is that it's not so much the balls they've been swinging at, but the balls they've been laying off. Really staying off the bad pitches. And Mike Taylor, the hitting coach for Baylor, and Coach Rod said that's just really changed the game and the dynamic for the Baylor hitters here last few weeks. For Oklahoma State, really not looking past the Bears. They've got a chance to win the Big 12 title again. And they've got to get past Texas Tech, who they play at home next weekend. So for them to stay focused here against the Bears this weekend, important for the Pokes.
All right, our keys to the game brought to you as always by Baylor Scott & White Health, the official healthcare provider for Baylor Athletics. Here's the starting lineup for the Oklahoma State Cowboys and Coach Josh Holliday. Andrew Rosa, the DH, batting first. Matt Kroon, the shortstop, will bat second. Colin Simpson, the catcher, batting third. John Littell in left field, batting fourth. Christian Funk, the first baseman, batting fifth. Trevor Boone in center, batting sixth. Michael Newstifter at third base. He'll bat seventh. Carson McCusker in right. He will bat eighth. And Ryan Cash, the second baseman, batting ninth. Facing Baylor's regular Friday night starter, sophomore left-hander Cody Bradford. And the first pitch is in to Andrew Rosa. It is ball 1, and this game is underway.
Well, how about the record-setting left-hander? Nice easy ground out to start the game. Cody Bradford getting that first out against Rosa. Good start for him, but yeah, the record-setting first Baylor pitcher in program history to throw back-to-back complete game shutouts, John. What a marvelous feat that was, and he just has it rolling this year. Great command. You see the fastball working in and out. he is not afraid to use it inside against right-handers either, and that's what makes him so effective. You really have to cut the plate in half against Cody Bradford, and we'll see how Oklahoma State hitters handle that. But good off-speed stuff, and that changeup just getting better and better as the season's gone along has been a difference maker for him.
There's Matt Kroon to the plate, right-hand hitting shortstop for Oklahoma State. 1 out, nobody on, just underway, top of the first inning. 87 degrees, and we mentioned the wind is blowing out. Probably will be all weekend. It's a called strike that evens the count at a ball and a strike. Going to say, what, 15 to 20 miles per hour right now blowing out?
Yeah, the balls were really flying out during batting practice. Of course, that light air with the heat coming into play here, and that wind blowing out. Tough combination for pitchers this weekend.
Kroon with a shot into the gap. He slides into second base with a 1-out double. Herring over there to get that ball, get it back in as quick as he could, but Kroon never paused. Rounding first base, ends up with the double.
Well, good swing by Kroon. Got a ball down and in. Looked like Bradford was trying to come inside with that fastball, and the ball came back over the middle of the plate, and a much easier pitch for Kroon to handle, but good job of him pulling those hands in and getting to that inside fastball.
Brings up Colin Simpson to the plate. We talked about him in the open. Pat, he is the heaviest of the heavy hitters for Oklahoma State. 15 home runs, second in the Big 12, 44 RBIs. Both those lead the Cowboys. His RBI numbers 5th best in the Big 12.
No doubt. You just look at him, he's solid and well put together, very compact, and as we talked about in the open, difficult player to pitch to with that 5'9" frame, and he packs a lot of punch in that swing of his. And see the 15 home runs, 44 RBI, leads the Cowboys this season, and he has been everything as advertised, just gotten better. Comes off a all-tournament selection last year in the Big 12 tournament, and it's really a tough hitter to get out.
Called strike, evens the count, a ball and a strike on Colin Simpson. Cody Bradford on the hill for the Bears, this Friday night series opener.
And that breaking ball to Colin Simpson, that's the pitch he'll have to get over to the plate, really try to slow his bat down a bit. He'll jump on a fastball, probably the first fastball he sees, he'll be swinging.
Lofton trying to sneak in behind him from shortstop. Pitch is low, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Busy day here on the Baylor campus and along the Brazos. We had a graduation ceremony this afternoon. We were fortunate to get in and find a parking spot.
That was a plus.
It was a full parking lot outside Baylor Ballpark. Graduation, of course, right inside the Farrell Center across the parking lot. 2-1, Bradford wheels back towards second base. Across the river, the Big 12 Track and Field Championships are underway today. Hosted by Baylor at Clyde Hart Track and Field Stadium. So we got a lot of activity here for mid-May.
It is hopping around the ballpark.
Yeah. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count on Colin Simpson, the catcher for Oklahoma State. Runner at second, 1 down. That one is low, ball 3, blocked by Baylor's Shea Langoliers. And it's 3 balls and a strike.
You can see the approach already by the Bears towards Simpson, respecting the year that he's having, and with the off-speed pitch 2-1.
It's John Bramer, our third base umpire. John Bullock calling balls and strikes tonight. Casey Mosier at first base. Seth Buckminster at second base. Big 12 crew working this series. And the 3-1. That is ball 4, just outside. And the Cowboys have 2 aboard with 1 out here in the first inning.
Well, you choose to pitch Simpson careful. Can't fault that, but then you have the senior hitter John Littell right behind him, and that's not an easy out.
See the numbers for Littell, 256 average on the year, 6 home runs, 34 RBIs. In that cleanup spot for the Cowboys. And he'll bat with 2 on and 1 out, top of the first inning.
As you can imagine, when teams choose to pitch around Simpson to get to Littell, he's done a good job of A lot of RBI, 34. Did a good job of backing up Simpson, and we'll get some good pitches to hit. If that's how teams choose to approach the Cowboys.
Bradford delivers. That one is up high. Here's a throw down to second base by Langoliers. A pretty close play of it, and Kroon may have got either spiked or caught a knee or something. He's up, and the trainer for Oklahoma State's going to go out and check on him.
Yeah, snap throw from Shea Langoliers. Good idea. Kroon's was getting a pretty good lead off of second base, and you'll see Bissonnette step on him on the way back. Almost, caught him at the top of the foot. Well, that foot laid out the way it was. That couldn't have felt good. Bissonnette catches him right there.
Looked like Bissonnette, as he went down to the ground, was doing everything he could to avoid stepping on him. So Kroon appears to be okay. Takes his lead off second base. Runner at first is Colin Simpson. Littell at the plate with a 1-0 count.
Yeah, dangerous for both players there. Bissonnette could have twisted an ankle as well.
And the pitch is low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to John Littell.
Well, Cody typically with great command. Only 18 walks and 69 in the third innings. 60 strikeouts as well, and just falling behind here. Really looks like he's pitching careful. Doesn't really look like a rhythm issue, and keeping the ball down, moving in and out, but just missing with pitches.
Spin and a throw back. They are really keeping a close eye on Matt Kroon, the runner at second base. Time Bissonnette trying to sneak in behind him. Kroon is back safe.
Well, Kroon, the leading base stealer for the Cowboys, and does like to take off from second base. Good situation to do it here with 1 out in the inning. Try to move him to third base, especially with Littell hitting. Pretty healthy lead at second.
Bradford delivers. That's a check swing. That is ball 3. As they peel down to first base. So Littell able to hold back, and he's got a 3-0 count on him with 2 on and 1 out here in the first inning.
One of those check swings that could have gone either way. Casey Moser at first base. Umpire didn't quite see it all the way around. We'll check it again on the replay. That's really close. Better angle here. Yeah, that can get called either way. Once that bat breaks the plane of the plate, sometimes you'll get that call.
Called strike. He was taking on 3-0. So now 3 balls and a strike to John Littell. Lights are on here at Baylor Ballpark. A little bit of cloud cover. Pat is going to give you a little bit of a break from the sunshine.
Thank you. Yeah, you're tucked away in that corner over there where it's a little shadier, huh?
Tucked away more in the corner than I normally am.
Getting lathered up over here.
3-1 the count. Here's the pitch to Littell. That is ball 4. He's walked back-to-back hitters to load the bases here in the first inning.
And last couple of pitches, Cody missing high, and that'll bring John Strauss out of the dugout. Just a good conversation to try to calm him down a bit. Of course, we talked about how important the series is for each team. Baylor certainly, John, coming off of a couple of big wins midweek over Prairie View A&M, but unfortunately for the Bears, dropped their RPI 12 points.
Yeah.
And it's a tough week to win 2 games convincingly and lose so much in the RPI rankings, which is what obviously the NCAA committees use to select their regional teams.
Well, here's a look at the Big 12 standings. Beginning play this evening and this weekend. Oklahoma State's on top. They are 15-3 in the conference. Texas at 14-7. Oklahoma's 13-8. Tech 12-9. Baylor in 5th place. Winners of 6 in a row in league play and 12 in a row overall. The Bears to get to 9-9 in conference. That's a look at our Big 12 conference standings, brought to you by Mountain Dew. Do the Dew. This weekend, a Sunflower State series. Kansas playing at Kansas State. West Virginia and Fort Worth playing TCU, and Oklahoma State here in Waco to play Baylor. OU out of conference playing at UCF. So with the bases loaded and one down, here is Christian Funk, big first baseman for Oklahoma State.
Well, you saw the identical records with Baylor and Oklahoma State, but the Cowboys have really turned it on in conference play this season, and things just came together. They had some injuries early on in the season, got players healthy and back just in time for conference.
Chopper to Andy Thomas. He'll come home for one. Return throw. Got him for the double play. Well played defensively by Andy Thomas and the Bears, and gets them out of a bases loaded, one out jam. For Oklahoma State in the first, no runs on a hit, 2 left on. Bears coming to bat, bottom of the first inning. Pitcher's best friend, the double play, gets Cody Bradford and the Bears out of the top of the first inning unscathed. Now here's the lineup for Coach Steve Rodriguez and the Bears, winners of 12 in a row coming into this game tonight. Nick Lofton, the shortstop, will lead off. Richard Cunningham, the DH, batting second. Davis Wenzel at third, batting third. Andy Thomas at first base, he'll bat cleanup. Shea Langoliers, the catcher, batting fifth. Davion Downey in right field, batting sixth. Cole Herring in center field, he'll bat seventh. Josh Bissonette at second base, batting eighth. And TJ Ragusi in the 9-hole, playing left field for the Bears. So that's the lineup for Coach Steve Rodriguez and the Bears. That 12-game winning streak, longest Baylor has had since 2012, that memorable 24-game winning streak. Remember that? Included, the first 18 games of conference play. Started 18-0 in the Big 12 that year.
And that was a magical season for sure. And something like what Oklahoma State's experiencing now at 15-3 in the Big 12, which obviously is one of the better baseball conferences in college baseball. And they have really turned it on. But you're exactly right, John. Great job by the Bears getting it rolling here, and couldn't have come at a better time.
Defensively for the Cowboys, that's the way they line up. Michael Newstifter at third base, Matt Kroon at short, Ryan Cash at second, Christian Funk at first base, Colin Simpson behind the plate, Littell Boone and McCusker left to right in the outfield, with Joe Linhard on the mound getting the start, junior right-hander. Bit of a departure, Pat, from what they have done most recently, but not a huge change for Oklahoma State.
No, Carson Teal was supposed to pitch tonight, and with Oklahoma State taking finals this past week, he had a final that I guess occurred this morning or today at some point, and they decided to give him a little bit more rest, so Joe Linhard gets the start tonight. Teal will be the pitcher tomorrow night for the Cowboys, and Linhard, as you can see already, that over-the-top delivery really works both sides of the plate well with his fastball. He'll sit about 87-91 with that pitch. A great command. It's a 4-pitch mix. And as you see the base hit there by Lofton, it makes Linhard tough to face. He's got a slider, changeup, and a curveball. Nick Lofton sits on that fastball and gets it, delivers it right up the middle for the first base hit. Leadoff for the Bears.
So Lofton with that shot right back up the middle. Leadoff single for the Bears. He's aboard at first. Here is Richard Cunningham, Baylor's designated hitter. Linhard's going to throw over to first, keep Nick Lofton close.
Well, Linhard not especially quick to home plate. 1.4 is his average time. You like to see your pitchers 1-2, 1-3. Of course, that big frame. A little bit slower delivery to the plate, but you'll know if Linhard is on, John, you'll see him really spot that off-speed pitch well. The changeup more so to left-handers, the slider more so to right-handers, and that curveball is really a good out-pitch for him. He'll change speeds with it, but you'll know if he's getting over the plate, like that changeup there, getting Richie Cunningham out in front. If he's got that pitch working, along with that breaking ball, typically bodes well for Linhard.
Big 6'5", 229-pound right-hander. Linhard gets the sign. Cunningham waits in the left-hand batter's box. Another throw over to first base, keeping Lofton close. It's Ruben Noriega in the first base coaching box for the Bears. Mike Taylor in the third base coaching box. Pitching coach John Strauss in the dugout alongside head coach Steve Rodriguez. Here's the 0-1 to Cunningham. Finds this one foul off the facing of the dugout on the first base side.
That time Linhart ran the slider in on Cunningham's hands. Good movement inside there. And Linhart averages about a strikeout an inning. 53 Ks and 55 2/3 innings coming in. Can get wild at times. 37 walks in that time frame.
0-2 the count on Cunningham. Pitches away. That's ball 1 to Richie Cunningham.
Anyway, back to the changeup there, and oftentimes don't see pitchers throw changeups off an off-speed pitch, but that's exactly what Linhart does, and that's how much confidence he has in throwing his off-speed pitches. He'll throw them in any count. He likes to get out something slower.
Linhart now will throw over to first base again, keeping a close eye on Lofton. 1-2 the count on Cunningham.
Well, if the Bears can pick the right pitch to run on, obviously you try to steal when pitchers are throwing breaking balls or something off speed. Just give them a little half step more to get to second base and see what the Bears dial up here with 2 strikes.
Cunningham a fly. It's going to find a home in the gap in right center. He's headed for second base. Lofton will go back and retreat to the bag at third. I think he thought he was going to get the green light there. He had to put on the brakes. But a double off the bat of Richard Cunningham. The Bears have 2 on in scoring position with nobody out to start the first inning.
Well, a great 2-strike swing by Richie Cunningham there, and just kept those hands back behind the baseball and looked like he was trying to stay back and protect against the off-speed pitch. Got the fastball in. Just caught too much of the plate there by Linhart, and Cunningham makes him pay in the gap. Looked like Trevor Boone took a tough angle towards the ball. Don't think he would have caught it even with a good angle. So with this sunlight bright, a lot of reflection coming off, especially back here behind us, John. It's maybe tough right now for the outfitters to pick the ball up off the bat. Works out well for the Bears.
Rob Walton, the pitching coach, out to talk to Linhart, has the entire infield around him. I get John Bullock, our home plate umpire, out there to break up the confab. But Baylor with something going here in their first at bat in the first inning. Lofton a leadoff single. Cunningham with a double into the gap in right center. Runners at second and third with nobody out. And here is the guy swinging maybe the hottest bat on the team, and that's saying a lot on this Baylor team right now, Davis Wenzel.
Well, you're not kidding, John. The Bears picking up right where they've left off here past 3 weeks. Swinging the bat extremely well.
Wenzel, right-hand bat with 2 on and nobody out. First pitch fouls it away toward the berm down the right field line.
Oftentimes hitters will take that first off-speed pitch delivery they see, and Davis Wenzel got one hanging. He attacked it. And you can make mistakes with breaking balls early in the count as well, and when hitters are locked in, they see something hanging in the zone, they're going to let it rip.
Boy, and that one hit him. Just rode in on him and hit him. Davis Wenzel tosses the bat away. And that will load the bases for the Bears with nobody out here in the bottom of the first.
This is the way we planned it, right? With highlighting Andy Thomas before the game, and now he gets the bat here in the first inning with
Andy Thomas.
Bases loaded, no outs.
The stage is set, that is for sure.
Perfectly done.
So hit by pitch, Wenzel to first base. Has now reached base in 35 consecutive games. Longest streak since Lawton Langford reached base 35 straight, 2013. That loads the bases. Andy Thomas to the plate now.
And just like we talked about before this game started, John, this is the guy you want at the plate right now for Baylor. Just a patient hitter, especially against a pitcher like Linhart. Really has to rely on the off-speed pitches to get outs. Thomas is going to make him work for it here. And again, as we talked about The Bears being so disciplined in their approach, that being the key to the game, but they have done that so well here past few weeks.
Thomas waits, sends this one into the gap in left center field. Lofton will score. Here comes Cunningham. He will score. Rounding third and heading home is Davis Wenzel. The throw to the plate is not in time. A bases clearing double, and as the throw gets away, now onto third base goes Andy Thomas. He clears the bases, and Baylor has a 3-0 lead in the first inning.
Oh, what a beautiful stroke by Andy Thomas. Got the fastball up and away from Linhart and drives into the gap, and just like that, Mike Taylor at third base, the third base coach for the Bears, gets really aggressive in sending Davis Wenzel home. Would have been a really close play at the plate. The risk pays off. The Bears put a 3 spot here with no outs against the Cowboys here in the bottom of the first inning.
It's going to be a double off the bat of Andy Thomas, 3 RBIs, and E6 error on the shortstop Matt Kroon that allows Thomas to move on to third base. And here is Shea Langoliers as they hand the bat to the next hitter. Langoliers with a runner on third, and still nobody out here in the first inning.
Well, John, if you played baseball at all long enough, you just know how important confidence is in this game. And right now, the confidence meter for the Bears offense is at a 10. And when you come in as an opposing pitcher, you just have to realize that with a team that takes advantage of mistakes like that, you almost put a little bit too much pressure on yourself to make perfect pitches instead of just working ahead. And as Joe Linhart gave up the leadoff single to Lofton, looked like he started to kind of pick around the corners a little bit with that fastball, followed behind Baylor hitters. Hit Wenzel with a fastball inside. And just like that, Baylor takes advantage of some pitches up in the zone and put a 3 spot on him.
And still going with nobody out, a runner at third. Langoliers sends a fly ball to right field. Drifting back is McCusker. Should be deep enough to get the run home. Tagging and scoring from third is Andy Thomas for a 4-0 Baylor lead on Oklahoma State in the first inning.
Again, some patient hitting by Shea Langoliers, staying off the breaking ball delivery he got on the first pitch, and gets the fastball elevated in the zone. Just does a great job of staying behind that pitch, driving it to right field, and that's exactly what he was looking for. Something up in the zone he could put into the outfield and give Andy Thomas a chance to tag up and score as he just did.
So that's the first out of the first inning. Bases are clear now. Here is Davion Downey to the plate. 3 hits in the inning, a hit batsman, 1 error by Oklahoma State. Tallies up to a 4-0 Baylor lead. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at a ball and a strike to Davion Downey.
Change up running away from Downey on that pitch, and Linhart's one of those pitchers you don't want to try to pull. You want to stay back and keep your hands back as long as possible.
Chopper right behind the second base bag glove there by Kroon. Kroon will throw out Downey for out number 2 in the first.
Now, Matt Kroon had Downey played up the middle, and 2-hop chopper over the mound, and Kroon had him played perfectly. Easy out number 2 for the Cowboys.
It's a pretty good scouting report right there, where Kroon was positioned behind second base.
It really did. They had Ryan Cash, second baseman, pulled over towards first, so expecting Downey to pull and well positioned defensively.
Here is Cole Herring, the Bears center fielder, to the plate. Now 2 down in the first inning. Pitch is away. It's a ball and a strike to Cole Herring.
Well, both pitchers, starting pitchers, struggling off. Start this game off. Cody Bradford with the benefit of a great double play ball by Andy Thomas. Don't see the 3-2-3 double play very often. That was
that one
nice
was
bailout.
A thing of beauty, though.
Absolutely. Ball was hit hard enough, and Andy went straight to home to Shea Langoliers, who fired back for the double play, and Linhart obviously looking for that double play ball, didn't get it. It's amazing in this game how one pitch or 2 pitches can change the tone of a game.
2-2 the count on Herring at the plate. Linhart delivers. This one is lined into right field, a base hit. Fourth hit of the inning for the Bears. A Herring 2-out single to right, and the inning will continue now for Josh Bissonette.
We're really liking this approach tonight, John. It's just amazing to see how the Baylor hitters have really all consistently applied the approach to Joe Linhart, which is stay back, use all fields. The big hit by Andy Thomas at opposite field, and clears the bases. And that base hit by Cole Herring, great job by him to stay back and drive the off-speed pitch to right field.
Throw over to first base. That'll drive Herring back to the bag. Bissonette, 273, his average on the year. Herring on the season, 3 of 4 in stolen base category. There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. 4 runs home for the Bears. Pitch by Linhart is a called strike.
The other thing you like about this start, too, making Joe Linhart work. 25th pitch of the first inning already. And John, as we talked about, a 90-degree night coming in to start this game, and he's got a pretty good lather worked up on the mound already. One of those nights you don't expect pitchers to throw more than 90 or 100 pitches without getting fatigued.
0-1 pitch. That is a called strike, outer part of the plate. He is way above par for the first inning on a warm evening. Does have an 0-2 count here on Josh Bissonette with 2 down.
And obviously the goal of any Friday night game is to try to get in that bullpen early.
Linhart delivers. Running is Herring. He is out at second base. So put him in motion. He is caught stealing. That ends the inning, but a profitable first inning for the Baylor Bears as they put 4 on the board in their first at-bat. End of an inning at Baylor Ballpark. 4-0. Baylor leads Oklahoma State. Back at Baylor Ballpark, Bears with a 4-0 lead on Oklahoma State. That's a look into the radio booth just to our left, right behind home plate. And we want to show you the sun that we're talking about, Pat, that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
So then pan over to our booth. I'm hiding over here in the shadows. I've got a great sun block, and you're right in the sun.
I am sweating bullets over here, John Morris.
Did you bring any sunscreen today?
I should have, yeah. You didn't warn me.
Yeah.
I need that 50 SFP. Where is it?
Well, it's this time of the night, early evening, when that sun is under, well, it's not even under the overhang yet. It's still above it, but just beating down here over on the first base side into the press box. So hang in there. I'll find something to fan you if we need to. Trevor Boone leads off the second for Oklahoma State. Yeah, there we go.
Nice, there we go. Use those numbers.
Davis going to provide a little fan for Pat.
Yeah, we should have broken out the numbers on the double play last inning.
You know, Hoot was using that to shield himself from the sun in the radio booth. 2-0 pitch from Bradford. That is a called strike.
And that's what you want to see from Cody now. Come out with that 4-run lead, just pound the strike zone. Make Oklahoma State swing the bats.
Cowboys had the bases loaded themselves in the first inning. With 1 out, got that hot grounder back to Andy Thomas at first. Came home for the force and then back to first base for the inning-ending double play. That was huge, and then the Baylor offense gives Bradford a 4-run cushion with which to work at the end of the first inning. There is a called strike 3. Boone goes down looking.
Well located fastball down and in by Cody Bradford, and we've talked about that ability to control both sides of the plate with the fastball, and this time just catches the bottom of the strike zone. Shea Langoliers gets that thumb underneath it, frames it up nice, and John Bullock says strike 3.
Boone's reaction shows he knows it. He didn't argue the call at all. Disappointed that he took that one for first strikeout tonight by Baylor's Cody Bradford. Here is Michael Newstifter, the third baseman for Oklahoma State. Pat, this is a guy you know pretty well.
Yeah, had Michael one summer and fall with the Dallas Patriots organization, and along with Ryan Cash and Jonathan Heasley. All three of them ended up at Oklahoma State. Done a great job for the Cowboys, and Newstifter has really done a good job coming along this season as a third baseman defensively, but really turned it on with his bat. It's one thing Josh Holliday has said, he's just really improved this season. I saw him with some Oakley prescription sunglasses. I said, okay, so that's what the issue was. You couldn't see last year. He said, exactly. I couldn't believe how clear the baseball is now when I put these on this season. But obviously had a rough year last year as a freshman and has really turned it on. He's seeing the ball now.
Down on the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one chopped foul wide of third. You know, you hear those stories about guys, you know, can't figure it out, just can't figure out why he's not seeing the ball better. Get your eyes checked, and sometimes it's almost miraculous, the improvement.
Well, that's exactly what happened with him. He just never thought his eyesight was a problem. Good thing you got it checked, but yeah, what a difference a year makes for him.
1-2 pitch from Bradford. This one is grounded to second. Gobbled up there by Bissonette. Throw on to Thomas, and that's out number 2 in the second inning.
Well, when you get the momentum shifted in your direction, this is exactly what you want a starting pitcher to do, is come back out here and establish that strike zone and make the opposing team swing the bats. And Cody Bradford's done exactly that. Got the 4-run lead here in the bottom of the first, and right out of the gate throwing strikes, making the Cowboys swing it.
Brings up Carson McCusker, the right fielder for Oklahoma State. 318 average on the year. Bradford rocks and fires, and the pitch is away, ball 1.
Well, McCusker looks tall, John, it's because he is. All 6'8" of him.
Playing right field.
Yeah, playing right field. I thought he'd be at first base,
right.
But right fielder, good arm, junior college transfer, and did a great job filling in the outfield here for Josh Holliday's Cowboys.
6'8", 217, sophomore from Sparks, Nevada. Transferred to Oklahoma State from Folsom Lake Community College. 1-1 pitch to him. Taken, ball 2. Final home series of the season for these Bears. They'll recognize their seniors on Sunday, the final game of this series. Finish the regular season at West Virginia next week, a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. And then on to Oklahoma City in the Big 12 tournament. Three and 1 the count on big Carson McCusker. Asks for time, steps out. Pitch clock in effect here for this Big 12 game. Nearing the end of the season, Pat, what do you think about the pitch clock? Has it accomplished what they hoped it would?
I think so. I was not a big fan just because of being a traditionalist in baseball, but sometimes you get those hitters stepping out, adjusting both gloves, taking the big breaths and taking 30 seconds between pitches. It just got to be a long time in between, throwing balls. So I think it's worked out pretty well.
3-2 pitch. This one is sent into the gap in left center field. It'll go all the way to the wall. Picked up by Ragusi. Get the ball back in, but a 2-out stand-up double off the bat of Carson McCusker to extend the inning for the Cowboys.
Well, Cody fell behind there, 3-1, made a good pitch to get to full count and went right down the middle with a fastball. It was down in the zone. That's probably what kept it in the ballpark, but McCusker obviously sitting all over fastball, got that pitch and gets the double out of it.
So that'll bring up another guy that you coached, Ryan Cash, switch hitting second baseman for Oklahoma State. 228 the average on the year for Cash.
And Ryan was a great athlete in high school and quarterbacked at Prestonwood Academy. Jonathan Heasley, who we might see as a starter on Sunday, was one of his key receivers. Obviously stuck with baseball, done a great job. And head coach Logan Stout for the Patriots. That was kind of 3 key members of his team that he coached all the way through since those guys were about 11 years old. And good makings of a summer league baseball team right there with those three players.
I would say so. Swinging strike 2 there. Cody Bradford up in the count. No balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Cash, 9-hole hitter for Oklahoma State. Batting with 2 outs, 1 on, runner at second base. Cowboys trailing Baylor 4-0 here in the second inning. Bradford's 0-2. This one's fouled straight back into the net.
Baylor player Hunter Say was a part of that team as well. Had a chance to see Hunter yesterday. Say hi to him at the luncheon.
Yeah, that was a great luncheon yesterday. Texas Sports Hall of Fame, our Lunch with a Legend, presented by the Baylor Sports Network. And you, my friend, were the legend in the room. That was fun.
That was fun. As you well pointed out to my son, it finally proved that I was a true legend. I've told him that my whole life and his whole life, and he finally got to see it.
2-pitch blocked by Langoliers. That's why you brought him, right?
That's right.
So it could be verified.
Yep.
It's like a blue check from Twitter. You're verified as a legend.
Dad, you've always been a legend in your own mind. Yep.
That was a fun event. Coach Rod brought the entire baseball team. I know they enjoyed hearing from you, and great baseball conversation, great stories. Everybody I've talked to since then loved the Fidel Castro story the best. That's just, that's a classic.
Yep.
You pitching for Team USA and throwing one into the net behind the plate right at Fidel Castro. Here's a shot through the box into center field. McCusker is being waved home. Here's the throw on the relay, not in time. He'll score. It's an RBI single off the bat of Ryan Cash, and the Cowboys are on the board, making it a 4-1 Baylor lead.
Well, Cody got 2 quick outs in the inning. The double looked pretty instant off the bat of McCusker, and Ryan Cash with a big 2-out single up the middle, and does the job for the RBI to get the Cowboys on the board. And cut off there by Andy Thomas. Throw not quite strong enough to get there. I think if Herring would have been able to throw it all the way to home plate, that would have been a good play there to get McCusker out, but Thomas cut it off, and the relay throw not in time.
So back to the top of the order, and Andrew Rosa to the plate. Run home, 4-1 Baylor lead now. 2 outs in the inning. Ryan Cash at first, and Cody Bradford will throw over there.
Well, Cash a threat to run, 6 steals in the season, and you most often see with a Oklahoma State lineup, good power, good athleticism. Team speed is always a relevant issue to deal with the Cowboys.
First pitch to Rosa, chop foul wide of first base. Cowboys as high as number 14 in the nation in the polls this week. Highest ranked Big 12 school. They're 14th by Collegiate Baseball. They're 20th by Baseball America, 22nd in the USA Today poll, 25th in the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association poll, 22nd by D1 Baseball, and not in the top 25, the Perfect Game top 25 poll. That's a lot of polls to choose from.
That's right. Well, the most important one is the ratings percentage index,
right,
the RPI, and Oklahoma State sitting at 20 in that poll, and they'd like to bump that up a few spots here before the end of the season. Of course, they would love to host an NCAA regional as they did last season, and we'll have to finish strong here in the end to be able to do that.
1-1 the count on Rosa. Bradford. Long look at the runner, and he'll throw over there again. Yeah, number 20 in the RPI, Texas Tech, actually the best RPI in the Big 12 among the Big 12 schools at number 9. Texas at 21, Oklahoma 40, West Virginia 45. Baylor checks in this week at number 53. And unfortunately that is down, as you said, 12 points after 2 run rule victories over Prairie View A&M this week.
Yeah, you win 2 games and run rule both of them, and you lose 12 ranks in the RPI index. Almost doesn't seem fair, does it?
It really doesn't. They needed to get those games in, though. They'd had an 8-day layoff for finals and wanted to get a couple of games in before this Oklahoma State series.
Yeah, no doubt they needed to play, and I believe originally Baylor had Northwestern on the schedule, and when they had a coaching change, there was something that went on with the new coach. Didn't see the note or understand the contract, and so when they opted out, Prairie View was available, and of course Coach Rod needed to fill those spots. But unfortunate in the NCAA not to recognize that, you know, you play a team like that in the middle of the week and you lose for winning. Almost doesn't make sense.
Runner is going. Langoliers loses the handle on the ball, so Ryan Cash has stolen second base.
You know, it almost makes you feel like, as Chad Jackson pointed out, that you would rather not play a game than give up that much in a RPI ranking. But then you know that it's college baseball. Those guys need to play as well. Prairie View A&M I'm talking about. And you look at that conference with TSU and some of those schools, predominantly African-American type schools, well, then you start to look at, you know, that's not right for those schools either. You know, because now you're going to have teams not schedule them.
Fly ball deep center field. Herring's going back. It is high off the wall in center field. I think Rosa lost sight of that ball. Sort of stopped between first and second. Does slide safely into second base. And that scores Ryan Cash from second. Man, that was really high off that 20-foot high batter's eye wall in center field. And the Cowboys have their second run of the inning.
Well, I think Josh Holliday is going to ask, is that not a home run? And you're right, John, about 3/4 of the way up that wall. And it's got to get over both walls here at Baylor Ballpark. You've got the outfield wall, and you can see the 400 sign in dead center. Then right above that, the batter's eye, which is a part of the outfield wall. So you hit one over that second deck wall, and you're talking 420, 425 to get out of dead center. Nonetheless, Rosa gets the RBI double, and just like that, Cowboys have cut the lead in half.
All with 2 out. First 2 were retired by Baylor's Cody Bradford. And the double by McCusker, the RBI single by Cash, stolen base, then the RBI double by Andrew Rosa, who stands at second. And here is Matt Kroon to the plate. He had a double his first time up tonight. First pitch to him is strike 1.
I got that feeling walking into the ballpark with the wind blowing out, the air kind of light with now the heat coming in, and you start to think even with the Friday night starters, you may have one of those games. So hope that feeling goes away pretty quickly.
4-2 lead for the Bears, which brushes Kroon back in the right-hand batter's box.
And Cody's pitch count creeping up, 45 deep now in the top of the second. Still needs to get that last out, get the Bears back in the dugout.
Hits even at 4 apiece. Bears with a 4-2 lead. See the perspiration on the back of the neck there. Baylor starter Cody Bradford. It's golfed foul off to the right side.
And that was the same fastball that Kroon hit for a double in the first inning. Might have been slightly further inside, but Cody got inside those hands and gets the foul ball. He's the out pitch here, 1-2 count.
With 2 down and a runner at second base for Oklahoma State. Baylor leading 4-2. Bradford trying to get out of this second inning. Here's the 1-2. That is swinging, strike 3. Couple of strikeouts in the inning. That one ends it. But 2 runs on the board for the Cowboys in the second. Middle of the second from Baylor Ballpark. Baylor 2, Baylor 4, Oklahoma State 2 on Fox. It is saluting heroes night here at Baylor Ballpark, and throwing out the first pitch, that is Captain Gary Lee. Pretty good pitch there for the opening ceremonial first pitch tonight, and we certainly applaud the saluting heroes theme of this game this evening.
Nice job, Mr. Lee.
That wasn't a bad pitch.
With all of his equipment on. had the gun belt and everything
right.
going, yeah. Had a chance to meet Chief David Brown at the Dallas Baptist graduation this morning. Took a picture with the chief
He had a great presentation.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, it's just like we saw on TV after the tragedy in Dallas, you know, a couple of years ago with the 5 officers who were shot and killed in the line of duty. And Chief Brown is an amazing man and gave a great commencement speech, and enjoyed meeting him today as well.
Very nice. Josh Bissonette leads off the second inning for the Bears, up 4-2 on Oklahoma State. Bissonette 273 on the season. Joe Linhard misses up high. It's 2 balls and no strike. Bissonette hitting out of the 8-hole. TJ Ragusi on deck, then back to the top of the order, and Nick Lofton. First 3 scheduled hitters for the Bears. We put 4 runs on 4 hits on the board, their first at bat tonight.
Well, Linhard, not quite the feel on the off-speed pitches that we talked about he needs to be successful, and he really is a field type guy. He's got good stuff. We talked about the 4-pitch mix, but he has to feel those pitches, and when you're getting underneath your changeup and your breaking balls the way he started this inning, that's not good for him.
Shot into center field, drifting over is Boone and back, and he makes the catch. That one carried pretty well off Bissonette's bat. Got just shy of the warning track for out number 1 in the second inning.
Another high delivery there from Linhard, and just can't live there on a night like tonight. Wind blowing out. That wind is light tonight. The air is light. Ball is really carrying, as we've already seen, a number of balls in the gaps and off the walls.
Here is TJ Ragusi to the plate for the Bears. Really helped solidify this lineup when he came back from that injury. Put him back in there in the starting lineup, playing left field. See his average 369. He's been on base now, riding a streak tonight of 15 straight games on base. And he's just played in 22 games this year. So how's that for productivity?
Yeah, extremely well done. And defensively as well, John, you consider you had Nick Lofton, who's infielder, playing shortstop. That was his position in high school. As Ragusi pops out to Michael Newstifter at third base. So that was huge for him to come back and allowed Lofton to move to shortstop as Tucker Cascade went cold for a couple of weeks, and it really has strengthened that lineup quite a bit.
Fouls out to third baseman Newstifter. 2 down in the inning. Nick Lofton to the plate. Lofton started that 4-run outburst in the first inning with a single right back up the middle. Shows bunt here, pushes it up the third baseline. Glove by Newstifter. The throw got him at first base. Charging hard, and even had his plant foot kind of slip out behind him, but he throws out Lofton to retire the Bears in order. End of 2 at Baylor Ballpark. 4-2 Bears lead the Cowboys. I want to remind you again about the terrific Fox Sports Go app. It's a free download. Download it. You can watch programs like this game, other Big 12 games, a lot of collegiate events around the country. So check it out. It is absolutely free in the App Store, the Fox Sports Go app. Pat, I know you use that all the time, as do I.
It is the go-to place when you're trying to find Baylor games or other Big 12 games going on.
Colin Simpson leads off this third inning for Oklahoma State. Simpson walked his first time up against Cody Bradford. Grounds this one hard past Andy Thomas into right field. I thought Andy was there. Maybe it was moving so fast it just got under his glove and into right field.
Yeah, it did. Looked like he just misplayed it. Ball that he could have gotten his feet moved over on, and tried to backhand it off of his knee, and ball just scooted by him. But I'm sure Andy would tell you he'd like to have that one over, just get his body in front of it, knock it down.
That one is ruled an error on first baseman Andy Thomas. So first error of the night by the Bears. Puts Simpson aboard. Here is John Littell to the plate. Why do I get the feeling we're going to have a lot more hits and runs on the board this evening?
Yeah, it's kind of shaping that up that way. Had that feeling walking in, and Certainly that's what it seems so far. So it's going to be especially important defensively. You don't give up freebies. You know, pitchers need to throw strikes, and defense needs to play well on a night like tonight.
A 1 pitch to Littell. Blocked by Langoliers. Keeps that ball in front of him. Sophomore catcher for the Bears. Been selected for Team USA this summer. Showing part of the reason why there with that defensive block behind the plate.
Well, no doubt. Not many catchers in collegiate baseball as good defensively as Langoliers. And you see it with the arm and the way he blocks balls. Also the way he frames up pitches and really buys a lot of strikes for pitchers.
Bissonette, did he make the tag? He did, and the throw onto first base.
Wow, what a play.
Heads up play by Josh Bissonette.
Yeah, where are those cards? That's a 9. That's a great play. You know, the key to that play, obviously, coming in on the ball, but catching it before it hits that big second bounce, and then just having enough, you know, vision around him to catch the runners. Colin Simpson coming from first base. Right out of the corner of his eye, Bissonette just said, hey, I've got enough time to tag and make the throw, and did exactly that. Beautifully done.
Well done, Josh Bissonette. Now the base is clear. 2 down, and Christian Funk to the plate. He grounded into that inning-ending double play in the first inning when the Cowboys had the bases loaded. Hit the ball hard right back to Andy Thomas at first base, who came home and got the return throw. That got Cody Bradford out of that bases loaded jam. Pitch misses inside. It's 2 balls, no strike to Funk.
Well, that's a big turnaround inning if Cody can retire Funk just to save some pitches here. He came into the inning with 46 pitches, and big to have a quick one here for him.
2-0 misses, not by much. It's a 3-0 count on Funk.
Yeah, John Bullock with a tight strike zone, but it's been consistent. That's all you ask for if you're pitching, is to know where the zone is.
Strike called. Now 2 balls and a strike on Funk. Quick inning would be huge for Cody Bradford. One's up high, ball 4. It'll continue the inning now. Funk with the walk. Trevor Boone coming up next.
Yeah, a little bit uncharacteristic here, Cody Bradford early in this game. 3rd walk in 2 2/3 innings, and way above average for him. It's one of those nights where, you know, oftentimes as a pitcher, you come out about every 5 starts, you'll have 1 start you're just totally locked in. You'll have 1 you're really off, just trying to battle through and just don't have your good stuff in a night. Usually those 2 or 3 outings you have good stuff, but you're just not quite locked in. And that seems to be one of those nights what Cody's having right now, just trying to battle to find that command that he's known for. Just hasn't quite dialed it in yet.
A 1 pitch to Trevor Boone. This one's popped back and out of play over the overhang. So he's ahead in the count now. No balls, 2 strikes on Boone, who did strike out his first time up tonight against Cody Bradford.
You know, Boone got an elevated fastball there from Bradford. That was a pitch you want to hit. Yeah, fouled it off and really missed it.
Crowd urging on Cody Bradford. Looking for strike 3 that would end the inning. This one's popped back foul, out of play again.
And climb the ladder with that fastball. Good strategy if you're a pitcher. You see that hitter's offer at a high fastball. You want to go a little bit higher and see how high he'll go with you. So he's gone 3 straight fastballs. See if he throws something off speed here. Maybe goes up higher.
0-2. Pitch down low, just got a piece of it. Boone did to stay alive.
Yeah, changed the eye level that time, going down with the breaking ball, and Boone did a good job just getting a piece of that. Good time for another high fastball. See if you change the eye level. Oftentimes hitters will then not make that adjustment with that next fastball up in the zone. See if Bradford goes back to it here.
Checking the runner, Funk at first base. Now the 0-2 from Bradford. There it is. Did continue to go up the ladder, and Boone strikes out for the second time tonight. That ends the Cowboys' third. Stranding a runner at first base, middle of the third. 4-2, Baylor leads Oklahoma State. From Baylor Vision on Fox Sports. 4-2, Bears lead it as they come to bat in the bottom of the third inning. Hey, the home schedule of activities is drawing very short, but if you're a member of Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, you can get free tickets to upcoming Baylor events if you move quickly. Go to BaylorBears.com/TFB tickets. Another benefit to Texas Farm Bureau Insurance members. John Morris, Pat Combs, our Baylor Vision crew here at Baylor Ballpark. We'll have all 3 games coming up this weekend. So keep it tuned for some good Big 12 baseball here from Waco, Baylor and Oklahoma State. Richard Cunningham leads off the third inning for the Bears. Cunningham with a double and a run scored. His first at bat tonight off Joe Linhard. Linhard called strike, evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, John, these Big 12 series with Baylor and Oklahoma State, they have been some classics. And
nice single to left field off the bat of Richard Cunningham, who's got a 2-for-2 night going.
Great job by Richard. We just talk about going with that pitch. Got the high fastball out over the plate. Went to left field, exactly where the pitch was thrown. And that's a good leadoff hitter there by Cunningham. But this series is virtually tied in terms of wins and losses. And then what was interesting, you look at last year, Baylor sweeps the Cowboys in Stillwater. I think it was the last Big 12 series of the season. Year before, the Cowboys had swept the Bears here in Waco. So hope that trend doesn't continue.
Yeah, exactly. Bodes well for the road teams in this series. Davis Wenzel to the plate, hit by a pitch and scored his first time up. Scored ahead of that double off the bat of Andy Thomas, who waits on deck. Extended the on-base streak to 35 straight games for Davis Wenzel. That's an impressive streak going.
That is unbelievable.
Now, where does that stand? So Lawton Langford had a 35-game on-base streak in 2013. Prior to that, and the research credit goes to Zach Peters from Baylor Athletic Communications. Max Muncy had a 36-game on-base streak in 2012 that ended when his career ended.
Wow.
So I'm going to say that streak's still going for Max Muncy. Now with the Dodgers and doing well up with the LA Dodgers. Josh Ford had a 36-game on-base streak, 2005. And David Murphy, a 39-game on-base streak in 2003. So pretty impressive company there for Davis Wenzel at the plate.
Yep, some big league names in that mix.
That's right.
That is just hard to do. That is a hard streak to keep going. Well, going back to the conversation earlier with Baylor and Oklahoma State, the Cowboys lead an all-time series, 42 wins to 41. It includes a 7-4 mark under head coach Josh Holliday. So
I remember a non-conference series here way back, and I'd have to look up to see what year it was, but Oklahoma State came here for a non-conference, I think a weekend series. That was a big deal with Oklahoma State coming in here. I mean, that was really a big, big series.
Well, you just look at the history of this Cowboy program, and 20 College World Series appearances. I mean, just historically, this has been a powerhouse collegiate program, and Josh Holliday has come in and really turned it around. They had some great success back in the 70s, the 80s, leading up into the early 2000s, and then had a coaching change. Long-time coaching staff in Oklahoma State, which included Josh Holliday's dad and uncle. And when I was recruited to play for the Cowboys back in the late 80s, it was just kind of in their heyday. It's guys like Robin Ventura and Pete Incaviglia. Those were the guys I had to pitch against when I ended up coming to Baylor. But yeah, those were some great Oklahoma State Cowboy baseball teams, and Josh Holliday has them back into that dynastic mode again.
2-2 count on Wenzel, pitched by Linhard. Fly ball, foul territory down the right field line. Nobody's going to be able to catch up to it. Ball's untouched. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes on Wenzel.
And those are the kind of balls that just happen when you're in a 35-game reach base streak.
Yeah.
It's the ball that's hit in the middle of nowhere and nobody can reach it.
Oklahoma State, big plans of upgrading their stadium, their Allie P. Reynolds Stadium.
Yeah, long overdue. I can tell you, John, long overdue. And they've done a great job with their football facilities and other sporting facilities. But as strong as that baseball program has been over the years, not to have had a better stadium to play in.
Cunningham, sort of a delayed steal attempt there, and he is tagged out. Trying to steal second base as the ball was in the dirt. Colin Simpson throws him out. That'll clear the bases, and that's the first out here in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, second base runner thrown out by Simpson at second base. Cole Herring the first, and Cunningham read the ball down in the dirt, did a good job of reading it. But Simpson did a better job of knocking it down and keeping it close enough to him he could pick it up and fire a throw to second base, and Ryan Cash digs it out of the dirt, makes the tag. And that's unfortunate because now Wenzel plunked the second time in this game. Would have put runners at first and second. Now just a runner at first for Baylor with 1 out.
Doesn't appear to phase Davis Wenzel. In between the shoulder blades, it looked like. He's going to walk down to first base.
The first time he got hit was a fastball. It looked like Linhard was trying to go inside, just back him off, and caught him in the leg. And then this one was a breaking ball that gets away from Linhard. Obviously not trying to plunk Wenzel, but a couple already in this game.
So hit by pitch for the second time tonight is Wenzel. He's at first, 1 out. Here is Andy Thomas. A 3-run double cleared the bases back in the 1st inning. Was able to move on to 3rd on a throwing error by the shortstop Kroon. Part of that big 4-run 1st inning by the Bears. Baylor now leads it by a 4-2 count. Called strike 1 to Andy Thomas.
Yeah, good breaking ball delivery. Kind of up in the zone. We talked about you just can't live up there even with a breaking ball first pitch. Thomas chooses to take that one. Hit the fastball in the 1st inning in the gap. Thomas typically a very patient hitter. Just has a good approach, a good idea of what he's trying to do when he gets in the batter's box.
Linhard delivers. That one misses inside. It's a ball and a strike now to Andy Thomas. Second game tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central Time. Finale 1 p.m. on Sunday. Family day tomorrow if you're going to come out to the ballpark. Kids get to get on the field after the game tomorrow. This one chopped foul. Be aware, if you are coming to the game tomorrow, there are 2 other graduation ceremonies in the Farrell Center.
Yep.
9 a.m. I found out. 9 a.m. and 2:30 tomorrow are the graduation times. So plan your arrival at the ballpark accordingly.
That's right. I would say plan a tailgate, get here a little early.
Yes.
Have lunch at the ballpark. Beat the crowd in between the graduations at Farrell Center.
Yeah, 1 o'clock appears to be the optimal time to try to get here tomorrow for this 3 o'clock first pitch. 2-2 count now to Andy Thomas.
Well, John, we highlighted Colin Simpson before the game and the offensive just power he brings to that lineup. I've been very impressed with his defense. Made some nice blocks. A couple of base runners thrown out already against the Bears, and did a nice job of really controlling the game back there behind the dish.
Thomas hits it hard into center field. Going first to third is Davis Wenzel. Nice diving attempt there by Ryan Cash, the second baseman, but it eluded him. And Andy Thomas is 2 for 2 tonight. The Bears have runners on the corners with 1 out.
Well, Cash needed about another half step to be able to knock that ball down, and playing a double play depth, he was about 3 steps in off the grass, and just enough angle off the bat of Andy Thomas to get it into center field and get Davis Wenzel moved over to third base with 1 out. That's huge. Give Shea Langoliers a chance to get his second RBI of the game.
Baylor offense is going really well right now. Part of the 12-game winning streak by the Bears. Team batting average is .288 coming into this game tonight, second best in the Big 12 on the for the entire season. When you've got a guy like Shea Langoliers batting down in the 5th hole, there's a shot that is foul down the left field line.
Oh, I just hooked it. Man, just missed. Couple
Been
benches
extra bases
left
for sure.
Yeah, it would have been easily. Easy double. But, John, when you think about looking at Shea Langoliers batting .223 at the moment, and if you'd have said, hey, Baylor will be 28-17 at this point in the season with Langoliers batting .223, I don't think anybody would have believed you.
Exactly.
But he has done a good job of really starting to find it and feel for it and get it figured out. Made a couple adjustments to his swing a few weeks ago, and it looks like he's starting to get it back. He's really put some good swings on some balls here in the past 8 to 10 ball games.
Another good block in the pitch in the dirt by Colin Simpson. 1-1 the count on Langoliers. Runners on the corners for the Bears, who lead 4-2. It's fouled back off the net. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Langoliers had the sacrifice fly out to right field his first time up. Scored Andy Thomas from third with that 4th run in the 4-run first inning.
I'll tell you, one of the adjustments Shea has made here is really keeping those hands back and waiting longer, keeping that bat tracking through the zone a little longer, especially on those off-speed pitches. See what happens here with Linhart, and looks like Simpson was setting up inside, maybe something hard in. That may have been a decoy with Linhart going to first base. Keep Andy Thomas close.
First baseman looking into that setting sun when pitcher throws over there. Sometimes that's a tough catch to make at first base or in right field. Langoliers fouls this one out of play. Bounces on the concourse and back out onto the field.
Yeah, change up the stayed up in the zone. That's one that typically gets hit to the outfield for a sac fly or something better, but
so it remains 1 ball, 2 strikes on Shea Langoliers, the Baylor sophomore catcher. With Davis Wenzel at third, Andy Thomas at first. 1 out here in the 3rd inning. The throw over to first base.
yeah, Andy not a huge threat to run, especially with Langoliers hitting with a runner at third and less than 2 outs. Sure, Coach Rod's going to keep Andy right there. Trying to give Shea a chance to get that sac fly to the outfield.
That pitch is a called strike 3. Inner part of the plate. Langoliers goes down looking with the 2nd out here in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, tough pitch. That was looked like it caught the inside corner. It's one of those pitches that goes either way, and Linhart gets the call there, but really kind of locked Langoliers up with that fastball in.
First strikeout tonight by Joe Linhart, the junior right-hander for Oklahoma State. Out number 2. Trying to strand a couple of base runners. Here is Davion Downey trying to get them home. Downey grounded out to short his first time up. Remember, shortstop Matt Kroon, and he played right behind the second base bag, and Kroon is pretty much positioned that same spot. You see Kroon there, the number 8 on his Oklahoma State jersey back.
Davion is a player that's really coming on strong here. About mid-season on, he's been one of the Bears' better hitters, and good spot for him against the right-handed Linhart. Big 12 player of the week, I think, back on April 30th. Newcomer of the Week, I believe, was the award, and Davis Wenzel was Player of the Week. Downey's swinging it well lately.
A 1 pitch. Nub back toward the mound. Glove by Lenhart. He'll throw him out at first, and that'll retire the Bears in the third. Baylor strands a couple in the third inning. End of 3 at Baylor Ballpark. Still Baylor 4, Oklahoma State 2. You're watching Baylor Big 12 Baseball on Fox.
Baylor Vision on Fox Sports is brought to you by Baylor Scott & White Health, the official healthcare provider of Baylor Athletics. By Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Texas Farm Bureau members can get tickets to Baylor home conference games. Email Baylor Tickets at img.com to claim your tickets. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is a proud corporate sponsor of Baylor Athletics.
On to the 4th inning here at Baylor Ballpark. Bears lead the Oklahoma State Cowboys 4-2. 4 runs on 6 hits, an error by Baylor. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Oklahoma State. All 4 Baylor runs came in the first. Both Cowboys runs came in the second. So to the 4th with their 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for 20th ranked Oklahoma State. Big 12 softball tournament is continuing in Oklahoma City. It's sort of good news, bad news for Baylor softball today. Number 16 RPI is where they are right now going into the Big 12 tournament as Michael Newstifter leads off for the Cowboys. Baylor beat Oklahoma State in softball earlier today 7-1. Really were looking forward to another shot at them after the Cowgirls swept Baylor in Stillwater during the regular season. Yep. So they beat them 7-1. That's a good RPI boosting win there. But then gave up 2 runs in the 7th inning and lost to Texas Tech 6-5 in the second game. And the tournament format is 2 pool play. And by the luck of the draw, even with a 1-1 record, Baylor will play in the championship game tomorrow.
Nice. Good deal.
Not yet determined who.
Yep.
Be a good guess. It might be the Oklahoma Sooners.
I think they're number 1 RPI,
nation.
right?
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
But Baylor will play at 4 o'clock tomorrow in the Big 12 tournament championship game, softball in Oklahoma City.
That's fantastic.
Swinging strike 3 there by Michael Newstifter, out number 1 to start the 4th.
Great job by Coach Moore yet again.
Absolutely.
Kind of becoming a regularity in the softball College World Series to see Baylor making those trips.
Carson McCusker to the plate. 2-out double his last time up, came around to score. Davis reminds me that game tomorrow, also that softball championship game on FS2, right? And we told you about the Fox Sports Go app, so wherever you are tomorrow, if you're out and about, you could watch that softball tournament championship game.
You know, John, you talked about that RPI index helping, the Baylor softball team. You're 16th in the country. You beat Oklahoma State, moves up. Even a loss to Texas Tech probably doesn't hurt you too bad. But playing against Oklahoma will boost it yet again, even if they lose, which still it kind of boggles the mind how this RPI works.
Definitely. Swinging strike 3 by McCusker. Back-to-back strikeouts by Baylor's Cody Bradford to start the 4th inning.
Outstanding breaking ball. You saw the tilt. Started at his belt, ended up down at his kneecaps, and that's outstanding breaking ball from Bradford. And again, we talk about the ability for him to get that downward motion on that breaking ball. That's a swing and miss type pitch. And then he comes back with that changeup, which was the pitch before that. Got a swing and a miss by McCusker, and that's what you look for with Cody Bradford. When he's dialed in, he has that breaking ball, and the off-speed pitch is working well.
First pitch, strike 1 to Ryan Cash. Had the RBI single in the second inning that got the Cowboys on the board. Check swing, called strike 2. Cody Bradford really going to work here in the 4th inning.
And you saw a good show of the third base camera, that nice smooth delivery, and it looked like a strike either way. Yeah, it was a call strike by Bullock. Didn't need to swing.
It's a piece of this one, fouls it away to stay alive at 0 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, the hitters will tell you, when you get the off-speed pitch over, the Doesn't matter, breaking ball, changeup, but something off speed, you consistently throw that for strikes. It makes the fastball faster. It just looks harder from the hitter's perspective.
Here's the 0-2. Off-speed pitch misses away. Ball 1 to Cash. Going back to the last out of the third inning, that is 3 straight strikeouts by Baylor's Cody Bradford. 5 on the night.
Well, got Cash set up for a fastball in. Let's see what he does here.
That one is away. Count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You saw Langolier set up inside. That's where he wanted it. Bradford missed badly with it. Again, he went away, away, away. That was the hit that Cash had back in the second inning, was a fastball that Cash was able to shoot up the middle for an RBI single. Still go back inside with him here. There it is.
There it is. Called strike 3. Pat Combs calling pitches in the booth. And Cody Bradford delivering. He strikes out the side. Cowboys go down in order in the 4th inning. On to the bottom of the 4th inning. Bradford finding his groove. Bears lead at 4-2. Bears come to bat, bottom of the 4th inning, leading Oklahoma State 4-2. As Pat told us earlier, this all-time series separated by just 1 game. A big weekend series here. 2 of the hotter teams in the Big 12 right now. Baylor's won 12 straight overall. Oklahoma State has won 7 straight conference games. They did drop a non-conference series at Iowa. 2 out of 3 games last weekend. The Cowboys have won 7 straight league games and 11 of their last 12 conference games. Sitting on top of the league standings at 15-3.
Yeah, no doubt. 2 hot teams playing great baseball right now, John. And you know, this is what you look for. This is what you play for to come to the end of the season here. And of course, each team has 1 more conference series to go. Oklahoma State will host Texas Tech in a huge matchup that could decide the Big 12 regular season championship. Of course, Baylor fighting to increase their RPI ranks and get a better spot in the conference tournament. But more than that, just a good test against a great team to really just measure up where they are at this point in the season.
Cole Herring at the plate. Pitch skips under the glove of Simpson to the backstop. 2 balls, 1 strike. Baylor again had that 8-day break for finals. Got going again with the 2 games against Prairie View A&M earlier this week. Now this series against Oklahoma State and closing in Morgantown next weekend. Sky high pop. Oh, and he fell down at third base and didn't make the catch. New Stifter coming in had his feet slip out from under him after he had called off catcher Colin Simpson and still almost made the grab, but it fell uncaught, giving new life to Cole Herring.
Well, the transition from grass to turf, and Michael Newstifter needs to check those spikes. Second time he slipped in this game. The first time it was on a ball, a bunt down the third baseline by Nick Lofton, and he slipped and almost threw a ball away. That time slips, and not only did he slip and end up on his backside, but the ball hits off his glove and smacks him in the face. So double whammy for Michael.
It's ball 3 to Herring, a full count now to Cole Herring, the Bears center fielder. Here's a shot deep to left field. That one is a home run off the foul pole. Home run, Cole Herring. And the Bears go up 5-2 on Oklahoma State.
Wow. And that ball took about a second and a half to get out of the ballpark. The only question was, will it stay fair? And sure enough, right off the foul pole screen, which is really the fair pole. So home run by Cole Herring, but that was an absolute missile off that barrel of the bat.
Home run number 5 on the season by Cole Herring. Builds the lead to 5-2 for the Bears over the Cowboys. And here is Josh Bissonette to the plate. Put a little life into the ballpark.
Well, sure did. That ball didn't sneak out either. That was about 3/4 of the way up the foul pole.
It was.
That was a rocket.
1-0 pitch to Bissonette, called strike 1.
Looked like Cole caught a changeup. He was out in front of the ball, but the ball just stayed up in the zone, and Linhart has gotten away with a couple of changeups that were elevated, and that time Herring made him pay for it.
Called strike 2 to Bissonette. Flew out to center field his first time up tonight. Only the 4th home run given up all year by Joe Linhart. 1-2 pitch to Bissonette. This is low and away. Evens the count at 2-2.
Well, that big curveball, that's a lot of strikeouts he gets with that pitch. Good job by Josh Bissonette to hang off of that pitch and earn another look here, a 2-2 count, but that's the pitch he gets a lot of Ks with.
High fly to center field. Trevor Boone is there. He'll make the catch, and that is out number 1 for the Bears in the 4th.
Yeah, a couple of deep flyouts to center field by Bissonette. Just missing a couple of those pitches and kind of shaking his head thinking, how did I miss that one?
So TJ Ragusi bats now. 1 out, nobody on for the Bears. Bottom of the 4th inning. Ragusi popped out in foul territory to third baseman Michael Newstifter in the 2nd inning. Healthy .364 average on the year for Ragusi. If there's a benefit at all to Ragusi, who was out so much with the injury that he's played basically half a season, not even half, really, his 23rd game. He hadn't had that wear and tear on his body this year.
Yeah, really fresh. And hitters will tell you they like to obviously get the rhythm going with their swing. But TJ has done that. Only took him a few games to really get it back. He swung the bat well and really provides a kind of another leadoff man at the bottom of the order there for Steve Rodriguez and the Bears. Left-handed hitter and good speed.
2 hopper to second. That'll retire Ragusi. 2 down in the inning now. Nick Lofton coming up. Leadoff man for the Bears. Right back. Took the glove off of Linhart. And the throw gets past first base. Lofton's going to go on to second base. He will hold there. A shot back to the mound. Literally took the glove off Linhart, trying to protect his lower leg there. Then picked up by Newstifter. So it's going to be ruled a single by Lofton. And then E5 on the throw by Newstifter that gets Lofton to second base.
Yeah, would have been a bang-bang play at first base had Newstifter been able to make that throw. But the heads-up play by him after Linhart had that glove smacked off his hand. Lofton with good speed, though, and I can see why they scored it that way. But the extra base on the overthrow.
So 2 down in the inning, a run home. Baylor looking for more with Richard Cunningham at the plate. Richie is 2 for 2 on the night. Chops this one foul wide of first base.
And a couple of miscues now by the third baseman for the Cowboys. And you think back to the Herring home run. Had he made the catch on the pop-up, Herring wouldn't have hit the home run. And now the Bears with another opportunity here with the wide throw. And Lofton with good speed at second base, 2 outs. As you mentioned, Richie Cunningham, 2 hits already in this game.
2 of the 8 the Bears have on the board right now. Cunningham swings, fouls it back. 4 of the 8 hits by the Bears by the top 2 men in the lineup, Nick Lofton and Richard Cunningham.
I think Richie hit that breaking ball off his back foot. Most of the time you see hitters wrap one around their front foot, but he was shaking the left leg.
0-2 the count to Cunningham with 2 down. This one is hit to deep second base. Playing back there is Cash. He's coming home, and he is safe at home.
Wow.
Cunningham legs it out at first base. Lofton just keeps on running. and beats the throw home, and the Bears go up 6-2.
Well, what a great play, base running play by Nick Lofton. He never slows down coming around third base. You saw where Cash was playing as a second baseman towards early right center field, and great slide by Nick Lofton at home plate to avoid the tag. And Colin Simpson can't believe it, but Lofton clearly underneath that tag. Ryan Cash was playing deep second base, really towards right field, and turning through that ball to first baseman Christian Funk, and Funk immediately spun around, but Lofton had so much momentum going towards the plate, he never slowed down, John. That was tremendous.
Well, he had the benefit of there being 2 outs, so
yep.
he was running all the way, never slowed down. Second run of the inning for the Bears, who go up 6-2. And here is Davis Wenzel, puts a charge into this one. That is halfway up the wall. Cunningham being waved home. He will score an RBI double off the bat of Davis Wenzel for a 7-2 Baylor lead.
Wow. Well, you said it, John. He put a charge into that one. Gets the fastball in and just crushes it to left center field under the Centex roof side, and he hit it so hard on a line it didn't get out of the ballpark. If he just got a little air underneath it, it would have been a bomb. Yeah, what a hitting display at the top of this Bears order. I was going to say that might be the night for Linhart, but I don't think the Cowboys have had a chance to get anybody warm. This has happened so quickly. So Rob Walton, the pitching coach for Oklahoma State, out to visit with Joe Linhart. And at this point, all you can tell him is continue to mix your pitches up and keep the ball down. The Bears have taken advantage of fastballs and breaking balls that are elevated in the zone, and they have crushed them.
Cowboys get some activity going now in the bullpen, but you're right, prior to this, didn't have a chance to do so. So Linhart's going to stay out there right now for the Cowboys.
You see the look on Linhart's face, almost in shock, and it's just happened that quickly on a couple of plays that really have benefited the Bears. We talked about the freebies, right? And you saw the pop-up that could have been caught here behind third base near the plate, and then the play in right center here that Ryan Cash, I mean, that wasn't a bad play. It was just one of those plays the Bears took advantage of, with Nick Lofton's speed coming around third base. And the Wenzel double that scores Cunningham.
So gives Andy Thomas another at-bat here in the 4th inning. He is 2 for 2 tonight. Bears with 10 hits, batting in the 4th inning. That one is low, blocked by Colin Simpson. Thomas, the big hit in that 4-run first inning, a 3-run double into the gap in left center. Followed that with a single in the 3rd. Pitch by Linhart. This one is hit in the hole into left field. Coming around third is Wenzel. Here's the throw. It is not nearly in time. RBI single by Andy Thomas for an 8-2 Baylor lead.
Wow. Well, when things are going well and your team is hot, what do? You just keep swinging the bats. That's what you do, and you keep swinging at good pitches. And again, Andy Thomas stays off the first pitch breaking ball delivery from Linhart and gets the fastball out over the plate. And just like he did back in the first inning when he cleared the bases, goes with the pitch to left field. And like Andy Thomas does, John, we talked about, he just sprays the ball to all fields. He's so difficult to pitch to, but takes advantage again of a ball that was out over the plate and gets another RBI.
So 4 in the first, now 4 so far here in the 4th inning for the Bears. Here is Shea Langoliers to the plate. 1 on, 2 outs. Takes that one outside, ball 1.
And now 11 hits in 3 2/3 innings.
Wow.
That is a hit parade.
3 hit nights already for Richard Cunningham and Andy Thomas. Pitch is low and away again. Ball 2 to Langoliers. Had a sac fly his first time up to right field. Scored Andy Thomas. Caught looking. his second plate appearance in the third. Linhard delivers, swinging, strike one by Langoliers.
Yeah, good change up there by Linhard. Gets Langoliers out in front. Again, 2-0 pitch. You're looking for that fastball, and it was out over the plate, just out in front of it.
Two-one delivery skips in, taken by Langoliers, so a 3-1 count now.
Now Colin Simpson, the Pokes catcher, really working hard back there. He's had to dig quite a few balls out of the dirt. Done an admirable job, kept everything out in front of him tonight.
3-1 to Langoliers, sends a fly ball to right field. Going back is McCusker, still going back, and he makes the catch.
What a catch.
Wow. You talk about tracking a ball and drifting back. He did that absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, 2 more feet, that's a home run.
Yeah, exactly. Nice catch by McCusker in right field. Retires the Bears, but a 4-run 4th inning by Baylor. Bears lead 8-2 into 4. Move to the 5th inning here at Baylor Ballpark. Bears up on Oklahoma State 8-2. Second 4-run inning of the night for the Bears. And let's check in the Baylor dugout with Baylor head coach Steve Rodriguez. Coach, you hear that term, hitting is contagious. We've sort of seen that for you guys this evening.
Apparently Levi Gilcrease wants to get into my interview right here. No, it absolutely is. And everybody can say, it's not. But when guys start feeling good and everybody wants to be a part of it, I just know, I remember as a hitter when everybody was getting hits, it forced you to focus a little bit more just because you didn't want to be the one guy that didn't get a hit or whatever it was. And so I think our guys were feeling pretty good these past couple innings. And to be honest, we've been feeling pretty good for the past couple weeks.
Coach Rod, you're right. It's been like that the past couple of weeks. What was the turning point? Was there anything you can kind of put your finger on to say, hey, here's what did it for our hitters and turning this thing around?
I'll tell you what, it was patience. I think a lot of our guys were going up with different ideas about how to hit sometimes, and you try to create a hitting plan for them, and then as the seasons develop and games kind of go through, you start to see things change. And so we had to get back to really some basic things and kind of focus on just going up there knowing what you're going to do, whether it's an execution opportunity or just an opportunity to get on base. We need to make sure we have an idea before you step in the box, so there's nothing worse than going up there going, well, let's see what happens this time. So you need to have a plan. I mean, you got 9 guys going up against you, so you better have some kind of plan going in that box.
Well, Coach, looks like Cody Bradford's really starting to settle in as well, and 4 strikeouts, last 4 hitters. What do you see different with him from the second inning on?
Well, I see 2 balls right now, so thanks for bringing that up, Pat. No, he, just like everything else, he's excited. There's adrenaline rush, and, hopefully he's kind of calmed down a little bit, and he can kind of settle in with his pitches and maybe move to be able to get the ball on the inside part of the plate to the righties, which he did last inning. So when he does that, that makes the changeup even better. So if we can kind of get that and keep that going, we're going to be okay.
Coach, we'll let you go. Thanks very much.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, Coach Steve Rodriguez, Baylor head coach, with us down far end of the Baylor dugout. Appreciate him visiting with us mid-game here. Andrew Rosa leads off the 5th inning for the Cowboys, 1 for 2 on the night. It was a 2-0 count, as Coach Rod made note of. Now it's a 3-1 count to Rosa. It's grounded to short and doubled to center field. Pops this one up. Center of the infield. Bissonette calls and makes the catch, and that is out number 1.
Well, I got blamed for the 2-0 count. I wonder if he's going to give me credit for the pop-up.
You know the answer to that. Does break a string of 4 straight strikeouts by Baylor's Cody Bradford. Struck out the side last inning.
Good job of coming back on that 2-0 count, 3-1 count. And the worst thing you do after you get a 4 spot by your offense is to come out and walk the leadoff hitter. So you don't try to think about that as a pitcher, but it enters your mind when you're getting behind hitters and you've got that 5-6 run lead. You're going, man, just throw strikes. You got to tell yourself, no, that's not the approach. The approach is to continue to pound that glove and do the same thing you did when you were striking guys out and getting ahead.
Like he's doing right here to Matt Kroon, ahead in the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
That's the challenge for pitchers, is to stay focused and concentrated on the things that made you successful in the first place, not loosening up that concentration.
Grounder to Bissonette. He will throw over to first and retire Matt Kroon for the second out here in the 5th inning.
You hear the old term, John, and you hear us all the time in the dugout when your team gets you a lead is coaches will say, hey, pitch like it's 0-0, right? So just take that same approach. This game doesn't change. It only changes on the scoreboard. It shouldn't change in your head.
So 2 down, nobody on. Here's Colin Simpson, Dangerous Simpson at the plate. First pitch is inside to him. Walked in the first, reached on an error in the third.
Well, nicknamed aptly the Tank. You can see why. In the most positive sense. Can you imagine trying to run over that guy at home plate?
One ball, one strike. We know his offensive numbers, and as you've mentioned, he has been very impressive defensively behind the plate. One outside.
Well, good eye, too. He has really laid off some tough breaking balls from Bradford. And again, when you talk about hitting balls out of the ballpark, oftentimes it's not the balls that you swing at. It's the balls you stay off that earn you the good pitch that you can sit on and launch one.
Foul ball down the right field line. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes on Simpson. Bradford 5-4 on the season. 2.60 ERA for the entire season. Second best among any pitcher in the Big 12.
How about that 2-2 swing? There is no cutting down on a 2-strike swing with Colin Simpson.
No.
Right out of his shoes.
He sent that one a long way.
Well, I'll tell you, that's what when you watch this Oklahoma State lineup, what's so impressive is they don't slow swings down in any count. They don't shorten up with 2 strikes.
There was another. He got his money's worth, but it's strike 3. 7th strikeout tonight by Baylor's Cody Bradford. Retires the Cowboys in order in the 5th. On to the bottom of the 5th. 8-2 Bears. Bears lead it over Oklahoma State. Baylor coming to bat in bottom of the 5th inning. Told you earlier, the Big 12 Outdoor Track and Field Championships going on just across the river at Clyde Hart Track and Field Stadium. Today is day 1. It will continue tomorrow and into Sunday. The running finals scheduled to begin at 5 p.m. on Sunday, but a full day of activities tomorrow. And I know our track coaching staff and everyone associated with the track and field program here really proud to show off their home stadium, Clyde Hart Track and Field Stadium. Just a beautiful location. As you look at that wide shot, you see McLean Stadium up the river on the other side, and then just south of that, blocked by the scoreboard really, well, you can see the light standards there of Clyde Hart Track and Field Stadium. So Big 12 Outdoor Championships in Waco continuing tomorrow and Sunday. That new pitcher on the hill for Oklahoma State as we move to the 5th inning.
Yeah, Ben Leeper takes over on the mound here for Joe Linhard. Linhard exits after 4 innings, and a pitcher I'm quite familiar with, John. Ben pitched for South Lake Carroll with my son Connor, and had a great college or high school career with the South Lake Dragons, and one of those pitchers that was top of the charts when he was throwing in high school, and unfortunately has had a couple of major injuries with his elbow and Tommy John surgery followed by some other issues, but now back healthy. Good to see him back out of the mound pitching for the Cowboys. And Leeper will sit 87-90 with that fastball, but his out pitch is a slider. Throws a ton of them and really controls it well.
So the righty Ben Leeper on in relief of Joe Linhard. To start the 5th inning, first man he faces is Davion Downey. Downey 0 for 2 on the night. One of the few hitters in the lineup for the Bears who have 11 hits, who doesn't have a safety yet. Ooh, one pitch hits him. Third hit batter by Oklahoma State pitchers this evening.
Well, control an issue at times for Leeper. 20 walks in 25 innings. And he gets on with the hit by pitch. But, command can be an issue at times for Ben Leeper.
Leadoff man aboard for the Bears. Downey hit by the pitch. Here is Cole Herring to the plate. Herring, big swing and a miss, strike one. Homered off the fair foul pole down the left field line his last time up. Fifth home run of the season by Cole Herring. Fouls this one away. It's no balls, 2 strikes to the Bears center fielder.
And there's a look at Leeper's slider. Good tight spin. Decent downward tilt to it, and that's his out pitch.
Tries to check his swing. Can't do it, and goes down. On strikes, Herring strikes out, first out in the 5th inning.
Well, fastball up in the zone, just couldn't lay off it.
That's the first out here in the 5th inning. Here's Josh Bissonette to the plate. He's flied out to center field twice in the game this evening. He's hit the ball well to deep center field, both of those at bats.
Yeah, just missed a couple of those pitches, and see if he makes the adjustment here, get on top of one.
Runner is going, hit into the 4-hole into right field. First to third goes Davion Downey. How about that timing? Put the runner in motion. Bissonette puts it into the hole on the right side of the infield, into right field for a base hit.
Now, perfectly executed hit and run there, and Coach Rodriguez dialing that call up with a 1-0 count. And Bissonette gets the pitch he can handle. It was a fastball away. It wasn't a bad pitch, but runner was in motion from first base, Davion Downey, and just like that, the Bears with runners at first and third now with 1 out.
So TJ Ragusi to the plate, 0 for 2 so far this evening. Runners on the corners with 1 down. Now 12 hits tonight by the Bears. A lot of streaks going for this Baylor team. Ragusi has a 15-game on-base streak and an 8-game hitting streak. So trying to extend that. So far 0 for 2 this evening.
This might be a position that Coach Rod does dial up a steal attempt, even with the runner at third base, less than 2 outs. You get the left-hander Ragusi up, makes a little bit more difficult throw for the catcher Simpson. And Ben Leeper, not especially fast to home plate either, so this might be one of those rare occasions where you see with Ragusi hitting that he chooses to put Bissonette in motion from first base.
One 0 pitch to Ragusi. Fouls it back. That'll even the count at a ball and a strike.
I got the elevated fastball up in the zone. That's the one he's looking for. Trying to get something deep to the outfield, at least get that chance for that 9th run to come in. An infield pull. They're playing back up the middle, Oklahoma State is. Matt Kroon, shortstop, playing almost directly behind second base, looking for Ragusi to pull it.
Another throw over to first drives Bissonette back to the bag. (8-2) Bears lead it. 4-run first inning and a 4-run 4th inning by the Bears. Cowboys got both their runs in the 2nd. Another throw over to first.
Well, Leeper trying to keep Bissonette short at first base. Cowboys sensing the same thing, that Baylor may do something here.
Now to the plate, misses low and away, ball 2.
Okay, another good count to run on.
See if he is off and running. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Not going. When Ben's in for a called strike 2.
That slider catches the top of the zone, and Ragusi laying off of it. I thought that ball was going to stay outside. It just caught the outside corner.
Throw over to first. Bissonette is back. Leaper delivers. Chases that one foul. Tip, strike 3. Out number 2 here in the 5th inning for the Bears.
Well, big strikeout for Ben Leaper and the Cowboys there. Obviously trying to put the ball in play, you know, with less than 2 outs, runner at third base, trying to get a chance to get Downey in from third base, and Ragusi just behind on that fastball.
So Nick Lofton, who is 2 for 3 this evening, has scored a couple of runs. Now will bat with 2 on and 2 out. Bears half of the 5th inning. Zach Peters tells us that Purdue has lost this evening. Why is that significant? Because Baylor now owns the nation's longest winning streak at 12 games.
Nice.
Trying to make it 13 with a win tonight.
Very nice. Well, let's go Bears.
You remember Purdue? They were supposed to be here to start the season.
That's right. That is exactly
never
right.
made it.
They
1-0 pitch.
They got snowed in, right?
Weather issues, yeah. They just couldn't get here, couldn't get out.
Yeah, we were okay here in Waco. They couldn't get out.
Yeah, I think they got to the Chicago airport and could get no further.
So we had Houston Baptist made the trip from Houston to come up and play that 3-game series.
2-0 pitch to Lofton. Swings through that one.
Yeah, you consider now that how important that those 3 games lost with Purdue winning that 12-game win streak. That hurt the RPI as well.
That's right. That's right. Missed some opportunities there as those games never got played.
Yeah, you hope the committee takes those things into account. You know, losing the Northwestern games and having to play Prairie View, and you go back to the start of the season. I mean, Baylor could easily be sitting on a top 30 RPI at this point.
Two-one pitch, swinging, strike 2. Big swing there by Lofton.
Yeah, good velocity by Leaper as well. He's got that fastball by a few Baylor hitters. Good life on it. It's just good to see him out there throwing again. Those injuries came close to ending his pitching career, and he has really battled back and worked hard to get on the mound again. And good story by Ben Leaper to get back there.
2-2 to Lofton. Tips it into the mitt of Colin Simpson, and that is the inning. 3 strikeouts in the inning by Ben Leaper. Bears strand a couple into 5 at Baylor Ballpark. It's Baylor 8, Oklahoma State 2. Baylor Big 12 baseball on Fox. 8-2 Bears lead it as we go to the 6th inning. Very nice presentation at the start of tonight's game. A check presentation. That is Baylor coach Steve Rodriguez accepting the oversized check from James Valade, the assistant coach for Oklahoma State, former Baylor pitcher, in the amount of $1,000 presented by James on behalf of the Keeper of the Game Foundation. James is the I'm not sure what his title is. President, CEO of Keeper of the Game. He's the founder of Keeper of the Game. And really, really nice. That money goes into the Baylor Community Service Fund here. Helps fund events like Baylor held last Saturday with the Challenger Little League on the field here at Baylor Ballpark. So really, really good work being done by Keeper of the Game Foundation. Check it out. keeperofthegame.org is their website.
Well, great job by James, and we've known each other a long time. And, of course, former Baylor player, but coached with the Frisco Rough Riders, Texas Rangers organization, for a number of years, and been coaching for 20 years and done a great job. And one of the all-time great guys in the game of baseball. And James has done a good job with the foundation and good job raising his son, who's now playing minor league baseball as well.
That's right.
High draft pick last season.
High fly center field off the bat of John Littell. Cole Herring makes the catch for the first out here in the 6th inning. Well, that is just such a great way to, use the platform that he has with baseball to support programs for kids who otherwise wouldn't have be able to touch baseball in the way that they are now.
No doubt. No doubt. He's got a heart for the game, a heart for kids, and not enough said about what James has done for the game.
Christian Funk to the plate. 0 for 1 with a walk. Keeperofthegame.org is the website if you want to check it out. Takes inside. It's a ball and a strike. Funk was a part of, I think, a real turning point in this game in the 1st inning. Cowboys had the bases loaded with 1 out. He had a hot shot to Andy Thomas at first base, who came home for the 4th, started the double play, got the Bears out of that inning without giving up a run.
No doubt that was a key turning point. You go back that 1st inning and think about, John, how different this game could have been had that ball gotten to the outfield or Andy doesn't make that play. And in the very next inning, Oklahoma State adds 2 runs in the 2nd. Had they scored in the 1st, this could be an entirely different ball game.
Funk singles here, 5th hit of the night for Oklahoma State. Their first hit since that 2-run 2nd inning.
No action in the Baylor bullpen yet, but Bradford's pitch count at 92. Getting to that point in the game where you start to think this could be close to his last inning. This one doesn't finish quickly. Hot night. Started out 90s. It's kind of cooled down, really nice, but it was hot early on.
0-1 pitch to Trevor Boone, swinging strike. It's no balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he has really had Boone's number. A couple of strikeouts in the 2 previous at bats, and really worked him down in the zone, raised his eye level, threw fastballs up, got one by him. Really tied him up with that fastball tonight.
And he struck out again. 3rd time tonight that Boone goes down on strikes.
Just chasing balls out of the zone, and then that's what happens when you get behind the count. You're really trying to protect, and good pitchers that know how to control that fastball will elevate. That's a couple of times in a row now that Boone hasn't been able to lay off of it.
Pat, that's now 8 strikeouts tonight by Baylor's Cody Bradford.
Well, we talked about Oklahoma State. They are okay striking out because, as we talked about, they don't shorten up their swings with 2 strikes. These guys will let it rip. And good information, when they played down at University of Texas, they have that TrackMan set up where they measure bat speed and balls off of bats. And the talk was that Oklahoma State had the hardest balls off the bat that Texas has ever been able to calculate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Michael Newstifter at the plate. He's down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
They just don't get cheated.
We have seen that tonight.
Yep. Even with 2 strikes, typically you hear coaches say, hey, shorten your swing up, put the ball in play. That's just not the philosophy here with the Cowboys.
0-2 coming to Michael Newstifter. He struck out his last time up against Cody Bradford. Runner is going, pitch is up high. Langoliers will get him easily at second base. Shea Langoliers throws out Christian Funk trying to steal second base, and that ends the 6th inning. Middle of the 6th from Baylor Ballpark. Bears doing it offensively and defensively. Lead 8-2. Baylor up on Oklahoma State. Series opener tonight here at Baylor Ballpark. You're right, Pat. It was pretty warm when we started, but it has turned into a very pleasant evening here.
Well, can we correct that? I was warm. You were in the shade. I'm fully tan now. It's
yes. Let's amend that. I was warm. You were baking.
I was baking. Yeah.
It's what
it felt like a piece of bacon.
It's really nice.
Yeah. And the Rocket Man song playing between innings, that was appropriate after we saw the cannon of a throw from Shea Langoliers to second base.
That's good. Derek Westbrook, I think, does those music selections in there.
Beautifully done.
I think there's always a message to be uncovered in there.
Very purposeful.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yes. That was. I was thinking back that Christian Funk trying to steal second base on Langoliers with 2 outs, 0-2 count, down by 6. Thinking that might have been an interesting conversation in the Cowboy dugout. Yeah. Well.
And you're hoping for his sake that he just missed the sign.
I'm hoping he missed the sign.
Right.
Coach, I thought it was a steal sign, I swear.
Richard Cunningham leads off the 6th inning. My first thought was when I heard the music selection, Elton John was, and you and I just found this out, apparently a lot of other people have known it, but Josh Bissonette. I looked to see if he was leading off. We found out Josh Bissonette's father is the bass player for Elton John.
That's incredible.
How terrific is that?
Yeah. So why have we not had a concert here?
Well, he said it's been in the talks, at least talked
Seriously?
about it. Yeah.
Well, who needs to make that happen?
Well, I don't know. Wouldn't that be great?
All-time best. Elton John at Baylor.
Josh Bissonette. His father is the bass player for Elton John.
That's cool.
3-1 to Cunningham. Sends this one deep to right center field. Home run! Richard Cunningham leaves the park, and it's a 9-2 Baylor lead.
Well, that's what we call a no-doubter. You were making the call before the ball got out of the outfield, John. I love it. That's confidence, man. That was a bomb. Yeah, an absolute no-doubter. Cunningham gets the high fastball, catches the inside part of the plate, and he was sitting all over it.
8th home run this season by Richard Cunningham. Boy, did he tattoo that one.
Yeah, you love to see that too. Yep. Richie, a great leader on this squad. Battled some injuries and still has an injury that prohibits him from playing outfield, but boy, what a great bat in the lineup.
Yeah, just wants to be a part and can do so as the DH. And look what he's done. He's got a 4-for-4 night going, Pat.
He is
3 runs scored.
Triple shy from the cycle.
And we're in the 6th inning, so he should get another at bat.
That would be cool. Little Elton John and Richie Cunningham hitting for the cycle.
Here is Davis Wenzel to the plate. Been on base all 3 times tonight. Hit by pitch twice. Then an RBI double to left center his last time up. High fly, right center field. Right fielder McCusker is there, makes the catch. First time they have retired Wenzel this evening.
Yeah, Davis really upset with that swing. He just missed it. He is sprinting back to the dugout in disgust because he knows he had a pitch.
So here is Andy Thomas now, 3 for 3 on the night. 3-run double in the first, singles in the 3rd and the 4th. 4 RBIs this evening for Andy Thomas. (9-2) Bears. looking for their 13th consecutive win. Called strike, evens the count at a ball and a strike. Ben Leeper on for his second inning of work for Oklahoma State. Hot grounder, gloved on the backhand by Cash. He'll throw him out. Good job by Cash deep at second base.
Yeah, outstanding play by Ryan Cash, and good angle to the ball. Had to dive, and the ball skipped up on him and made the adjustment kind of mid-dive to glove it. An outstanding play. That was Andy Thomas bidding for his 4th hit as well. The ball was hit sharply.
So 2 down in the inning now after the leadoff home run by Richard Cunningham. Here is Shea Langoliers to the plate. Langoliers didn't miss a home run by much his last time up. Remember that deep fly to right field that Carson McCusker tracked down.
Yeah, all 6'8" of him. He needed all of it.
That's right.
Caught that ball up against the 375 sign, and should have been a double, and 2 more feet would have been a home run.
There's a grounder up the middle, finds its way into center field. Base hit for Shea Langoliers, his first tonight, and hit number 14 on the night by the Bears.
Yeah, this is just, again, John, you talk about these hitting streaks and how well things are going offensively for the Bears, and oftentimes as coaches you just want to step back and say, hey guys, keep doing it. You know, we'll get out of your way. And I love the reminder that Steve Rodriguez said, you know, the approach is to still stay disciplined to what got you here, which is staying off of bad pitches, being patient, waiting for pitches that are mistakes, and then when you get them, square them up. And that's exactly what's happened here. And so Coach Rod and Mike Taylor and the staff are just going to continue to remind these guys, keep doing that. Keep with the same approach.
Davion Downey 0 for 2 on the night, was hit by a pitch, reached last time up. That was leading off the 5th inning. Here he is batting in the 6th with 2 down, a run home and a runner on. First man Ben Leeper faced when Leeper entered the game, starting the 5th inning in relief of Joe Linhard. Called strike, outer part of the plate.
outer.
Wind has died down a little bit, was really blowing out to straightaway center field. About 15 to 20 miles per hour earlier tonight. Called strike 2. He's down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good fastball there, down and away from Downey, and so the arm side action from Leeper. When he keeps the fastball down, he gets that good arm side movement to it. When he elevates the fastball, it tends to flatten out. That's what Cunningham got and hit the home run on.
Bears, if they hold on and get the win tonight, would go over 500 in Big 12 play. And that has been a long climb. Remember that? Remember the Texas Tech series to start league play?
Yeah.
1, 2 out of 3.
2-1.
Yeah.
And then we were
2-1 there. Then lost 2 of 3 to Kansas after that.
And lost 6 straight.
Fighting their way back to get to 500 in league play since.
Amazing turnaround when you consider 3-9 at one point.
Downey's chopper. Cash will get it, throw him out at first, and retire the Bears in the 6th. The solo home run off the bat of Richard Cunningham adds another run to the Baylor tally. End of 6 at Baylor Ballpark. Now Baylor 9, Oklahoma State 2. 9-2 Bears lead it as we move to the 7th inning here at Baylor Ballpark. 12-game winning streak for the Bears coming into play this evening, looking to make it 13. Right now riding the longest active winning streak in college baseball, with Purdue losing tonight. But quite a stretch by the Bears. 12 straight, 14 of their last 15. The only loss in there was loss at Memphis, that non-conference series on the road. Longest winning streak for the Bears since that 24-game winning streak which is sort of unfathomable thinking back to 2012.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially in the middle of conference play when they swept through conference. That's, you think, almost impossible, especially in the Big 12 today. But, yeah, remarkable run. You just keep it going as long as you can, boys.
Yeah, exactly. Win tonight would get Baylor to 10-9 in Big 12 conference play, and to be the 29th win of the season overall for the Bears. So quite a roll by Coach Steve Rodriguez and the Bears. Coach Rod, the 2017 Big 12 Coach of the Year. And on to the 7th inning. 7-8-9 for Oklahoma State. Michael Newstifter will lead off for the Cowboys.
Well, pitch number 100 coming from Cody Bradford, and he has battled well tonight, getting into this 7th inning. Just didn't look like he had his sharp command early on, John, and he kind of discovered it about that 3rd inning. Had 4 strikeouts in a row from Trevor Boone to the final 3 hitters in the lineup in the 4th inning. And he's been almost unhittable ever since.
Pitch fouled back. 2 balls, 1 strike to Newstifter, who's 0 for 2.
Only 1 hit since the 2nd inning.
Yeah,
just
really
stronger
remarkable.
And stronger, yeah.
Only the 2 runs given up, both in the 2nd inning. Sitting on 8 strikeouts so far tonight. Pitch fouled back.
Well, Newstifter doesn't usually miss those fastballs, and he's missed a couple of them here when Bradford was behind the count, and it just shows you the type of stuff that Cody has. And hitters are sitting on a pitch, they get their pitch, and they miss it both times, and it just tells you what kind of stuff Cody Bradford features.
2-2, swinging, strike 3. How about 9 strikeouts on the night by Baylor's Cody Bradford?
Well, that might have been one of the more impressive strikeouts. Behind in the count, 2-0. Comes back and throws 3 straight fastballs right by Michael Newstifter, and that doesn't happen very often.
Here's big Carson McCusker, the right fielder for Oklahoma State. 1 for 2 on the evening. Big strike zone, the big 6'8" McCusker. First pitch, ball 1.
Well, you certainly don't see many hitters 6'8". He's put together a nice year. Been a good find for Josh Holliday and the Cowboys in that outfield.
Yeah, with that catch he made off Shea Langelier's bat, he showed he can play some defense out there.
Well, no doubt. Good wheels and tracked that ball well to the right center gap and reached up and stole a double off the bat of Langeliers.
Checks his swing. They appeal. He did not go around. It's 3 balls and a strike. One down, nobody on. Cowboys bat, top of the 7th inning, trailing Baylor 9-2. And there's ball 4. A little bit unusual. That's the 4th walk issued by Cody Bradford this evening. His last 3 starts, he walked exactly 1 batter each of his last 3 games.
Well, that looked more like a fatigue type of a walk. Early in the game, he just didn't have the sharp command. Found that rhythm in the 3rd inning, but you throw about 3 or 4 fastballs up in the zone and starting to show some signs of fatigue at 108 pitches, and this could be Cody's last hitter. And we do have a pinch hitter.
It's Daniel DeSimone to pinch hit here in the 7th inning. Runner on, 1 out. He'll bat for Ryan Cash. DeSimone, a freshman from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. First pitch, strike one.
Exactly what you do when you have a hitter coming off the bench. Just go right after him. Get that fastball and let him get a taste of that.
Fouls this one back. It's no balls, 2 strikes on the pinch hitter, DeSimone.
Well, Shea Langoliers popped up like he was going to make a snap throw to Andy Thomas at first. Cusker getting a good secondary lead down there. Foul ball instead.
So now the 0-2 coming from Baylor's Cody Bradford. This is high. That is ball one. Talked about Baylor softball advancing to the championship game of the Big 12 tournament in Oklahoma City tomorrow. Good luck to them. Baylor men's tennis won NCAA regional first round game today. Beat Arizona State 4-0. So they advance to the second round. They're in College Station and they meet Texas A&M tomorrow.
Nice.
Number 5. I don't know if they're the number 5 seed in the tournament or number 5 team in the nation, but Matt Knoll says best team Texas A&M has ever had.
Wow.
So good luck to Coach Knoll. Baylor men's tennis tomorrow. Women's tennis also won over North Carolina State. Their opening round match in the NCAA regional hosted by UCLA. They'll play a second round game tomorrow. There is strike 3 called. 10th strikeout tonight for Cody Bradford as the pinch hitter Daniel DeSimone goes down looking.
Well, nicely spotted fastball inside corner. Just locks up DeSimone. He had thrown him 2 fastballs away, breaking ball down, and definitely was not looking for that fastball inside. But boy, Cody Bradford had spotted that pitch really well, using both sides of the plate, and 113 pitches deep. And I think Coach Rod has said, son, you've done your job. Time to let the bullpen take over here. But another tremendous outing by Cody Bradford. And I think most impressively, John, with him struggling with the command early in the game, then discovering it here in the 3rd inning and just mowing him down after that.
10 strikeout night by Cody Bradford, who gets a well-deserved round of applause from the Baylor fans as he jogs to the dugout.
Baylor Vision on Fox Sports is brought to you by Baylor Scott and White Health, the official healthcare provider of Baylor Athletics. By Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Texas Farm Bureau members can get tickets to Baylor home conference games. Email BaylorTickets@img.com to claim your tickets. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is a proud corporate sponsor of Baylor Athletics. And by Ford. See your best in Texas Ford dealer during Truck Month. It's buy now time.
That is Joe Heineman out of the Baylor bullpen. Pat, another guy you know very well. Heineman comes on for Baylor starter Cody Bradford, who gives way after 6 2/3 innings tonight. Outstanding job by Bradford. Gave up the 2 runs that are on the board in the 2nd inning. Only 1 hit since then by Oklahoma State. 10 strikeouts on the night for Bradford. And now the ball's handed to Joe Heineman.
Yeah, outstanding outing by Cody Bradford, John, no doubt, and gives way to Joe Heineman, making his 17th appearance of the season. Just a tremendous year for Joe, and .95 earned run average in 19 innings. How about the strikeout to walk ratio? 25 Ks, only 3 walks in those 19 innings. Batters hitting only 169 against him, so Joe just one of those stalwarts out of the Baylor bullpen, and called upon here to preserve this 9-2 lead. Top of the 7th.
First man he faces is Andrew Rosa. First pitch called, strike 1 to Rosa.
There's that split type changeup that Joe throws, and good tumbling action. Hard to pick up off his hand, and can you try to sit on that pitch, he'll sneak that fastball by you. And that one hangs up in the zone, but that same type of changeup delivery.
Foul ball, strike two. No balls, 2 strikes on Rosa. Remember, the runner at first is Carson McCusker, walked. The 10 strikeouts by Cody Bradford ties his season and career high.
Yeah, I think we saw that earlier in the season.
TCU.
If I'm not mistaken, TCU. That's right.
0-2 pitch. Langoliers takes a shot down to first base. McCusker is back.
Well, that's an impressive arm. You know how strong the arm is, but it's that release. It's how quick that release is from the glove to hand to that throw getting launched. It's got to be one of the quickest releases in college baseball. He'll rival some big league arms with that throw.
Wow. We have had some really good catchers here in the Baylor baseball program. Shea Langoliers continues that. Here's a liner into left field, a base hit by Andrew Rosa. Second hit tonight by Rosa, 6th of the night for the Cowboys, who have 2 on with 2 outs in the 7th inning.
Well, no doubt, John. It's been a tremendous string of catchers. I mean, how many big league catchers have come out of Baylor? Kelly Shopik. You got Muncie's on his way.
Yeah. Max ended up playing more in the infield.
Yep.
Started as a catcher.
Yep.
And played more of the infield. Cody Milligan is the runner at first base for Oklahoma State. Here's Matt Kroon to the plate for the Cowboys. Heineman delivers, called strike 1. Kroon 1 for 3 this evening. You see his updated average at .281 on the year. 9-2 Baylor lead. Cowboys bat in the top of the 7th inning. Fly ball, deep center field. Going back is Herring. He is at the wall, and it is gone. Home run, a 3-run shot off the bat of Matt Kroon. Cowboys pull within 4, now a 9-5 Baylor lead.
Well, that was a changeup offering again from Heineman. That ball just stayed up in the zone, and he's done a couple that have kind of flattened out up around the belt, and that ball just carried. I didn't think it was going to go out when he hit it. Man, that ball just kept carrying, and you see Cole Herring got up as far as he could. The glove extended just over the fence, and that ball cleared it by a good 5-6 feet. Just like that, 9-5 lead now. So don't go anywhere yet.
Yeah, exactly. There are 2 outs in the inning. Home run number 8 on the season by Matt Kroon. Here is Colin Simpson.
Well, one of the very few times that Joe Heineman's been roughed up. Only 11 hits given up prior to this appearance in 19 innings. Talked about the batting average against at 169, and 2 hitters in a row with back-to-back home run and single against Heineman.
Only the 2nd home run he's given up this year in 19 innings of work. 2-1 pitch. High fly, right field. Giving chase is Downey. Will fall just beyond the fence. Out of play. So a 2-2 count now on Colin Simpson.
Well, you just love watching Simpson swing. I mean, you talk about generating some bat speed. Man.
Watch him here. 2-2 count. Think he's going to shorten it up in his swing?
No,
not
he just
a bit.
Will not get cheated.
Here's the pitch by Heineman. That one bounces in, ball 3.
Well, if you're Heineman, you want to throw a strike here, full count. Got to challenge Simpson. You don't want to walk him to face Littell.
Here's the pitch, chases this one. Swinging strike three. Langoliers will throw down to first to finish it off. And that is the inning. But a 3-run homer off the bat of Matt Kroon for Oklahoma State makes things a little tighter. Middle of the 7th, stretch time at Baylor Ballpark. Bears lead 9-5. Bears still lead it now 9-5 over Oklahoma State. Coming to bat bottom of the 7th inning after they stretch it out here at Baylor Ballpark. Not a bad crowd on a Friday night. Actually, students are gone. The finals are over. One graduation ceremony was today. 2 more coming up tomorrow. So really can't expect a big student turnout for a game here in mid-May. But not a bad crowd. And as you mentioned, when the sun went down, got out of your eyes a little bit, it's not bad weather.
Not bad at all. Beautiful night. Even better if the Bears close this out. Final home series of the season. They'll be on the road against West Virginia next weekend, I believe.
That is right. And that series will be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. Here is Cole Herring to lead off for the Bears in the 7th inning. 2 for 3. Solo home run leading off the 4th. Pitch is low. That is ball 1.
Well, the Big 12 has traditionally ended the season in that fashion, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so that the teams can line their starting pitchers up for a Wednesday opening for the Big 12 Conference Tournament, which will be that following Wednesday.
To 1 the count on Herring. West Virginia playing in Fort Worth against TCU this weekend. Now 3-1 count to Herring. Max Hewitt is the new second baseman for Oklahoma State. Ryan Cash was pinch hit for last half inning. Hewitt comes in defensively, and there is ball 4. Herring draws the leadoff walk.
Well, the Bears definitely locked into the tournament. It just now becomes a question of seeding, where they'll end up. They could end up as high as 3rd with 2 series left. OU at 13-8, Texas Tech at 12-9 ahead of the Bears. Could finish as low as 8th. Well, 7th maybe. Yeah, Kansas at 5-12. They'll play Kansas State this weekend, and that will determine who could be the 8th seed and the team that gets left out of the tournament. Only one team will not make it out of the Big 12.
Bissonette lays down a bunt, pushes it foul up the 3rd baseline. And only 2 teams in the Big 12 Conference have been to every Big 12 tournament. That is Baylor and Oklahoma.
That's a good streak.
It's a very impressive streak.
Yeah, when you consider, Texas, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, TCU. That's good company there.
Bissonette waits. Leaper delivers. High fly, shallow right field. Going back is Hewitt, but coming on is McCusker, and he'll make the catch. And that is the first out in the 7th inning. TJ Ragusi to the plate. Right now 0 for 3 on the night. Again, trying to extend a couple of impressive streaks, an 8-game hitting streak, a 15-game on-base streak for Ragusi. One out in the inning. Runner at first is Cole Herring. He walked. And a throw over there by Leaper to keep Herring close. First pitch to Ragusi. That misses. Ball 1.
Well, this is that inning. If you're Baylor, you want to answer. Crooked number going up in the top of the 7th with the Kroon home run. Lead still comfortable at 4, but he asked Coach Rod, he'll say, I'm not very comfortable with a 4-run lead against Oklahoma State.
Right.
Not the way these guys swing the bat.
So how quickly Oklahoma State put 3 on the board top of this inning.
And off of one of your better relievers as well, and Joe Heineman. So Baylor looking to answer here.
Here's a shot into center field, base hit by Ragusi. Going first to third is Cole Herring. So that will extend both the hitting streak and the on-base streak for Baylor's TJ Ragusi.
Yeah, nice job by TJ there. Got a fastball in. Just stayed short with the swing, pulled his hands in and squared it up nicely. And again, huge hit from the standpoint of getting that runner to third base with 1 out. And now Levi Gilcrease looks to be the runner for TJ Ragusi at first base. And that'll bring Rob Walton, the pitching coach, out of the dugout for Oklahoma State as well. Looks like they will be making a change in addition to the pinch runner.
So the slow walk to the mound, no signal yet. You saw Levi Gilcrease, who is running at first base for the Bears for Ragusi.
Yeah, typically when you see a coach make the motion towards the man or the umpire, it's a pitching change, but umpire did not signal to the bullpen, so not sure what that conversation was about at home plate. But Rob Walton now breaking up the huddle at the mound, and Ben Leeper will stay in the game.
Let's look at C.J. Varela, the right-hander in the pen for Oklahoma State. We may see him at some point. We're not going to see him right now. Here is Nick Lofton to the plate for the Bears, who have runners on the corners, 1 down, looking to add to their 9-5 lead over Oklahoma State.
Well, Colin Simpson, the catcher for Oklahoma State, given the defensive signs for the first and third defensive setup for the Cowboys. And Ben Leeper with that power slider. It's a good pitch to get a ground ball double play if he can locate it well. And that may be the design by Oklahoma State here to leave him in.
First pitch misses outside. That is ball 1 to Nick Lofton. Nick 2 for 4 on the evening in that leadoff spot.
Well, big hole between first and second. Of course, the Cowboys in double play depth, so new second baseman Max Hewitt at double play depth really opens up a big hole between first and second. See if Nick can try to shoot one through the hole, take advantage of it.
Holds back on that one. That's ball 2, 2-0 count.
Yeah, good job of staying off a couple of good sliders there from Leeper. Just missed the strike zone, and better for Lofton that he was able to hold back.
Cole Herring, the lead runner. He's at third base. Levi Gilcrease pinch running at first base for TJ Ragusi, who singled. Now a 3-0 count on Nick Lofton.
I don't think it was the design was to walk Lofton to face Richie Cunningham, who's got 4 hits in the night.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Who was a triple shy of the cycle tonight.
That's right.
Taking on 3-0, and it's ball 4. Drops the bat at home plate, and the bases are loaded for the Bears with 1 out.
That was not the instructions from Rob Walton, I assure you. Well, now we will see the pitching change here. Walton right back out of the dugout.
Pitching change for the Cowboys. That'll be the night for Ben Leeper. We'll take a break. We'll tell you about the new pitcher for Oklahoma State when we come back. Bears up 9-5, threatening more with the bases loaded, 1 out here in the 7th inning. Third pitcher of the night on the hill for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. That is C.J. Varela to the mound, 5'10", 167-pound sophomore right-hander. He's from Katy, Texas, Seven Lakes High School. And Varela takes over for Ben Leeper. Leeper pitched, 2 1/3 innings, following the starter Joe Linhard, who went the first 4 this evening. So, Pat, what do we need to know about C.J. Varela?
Yeah, at times he's been used as a closer. Definitely a setup man for Oklahoma State. Making his 18th appearance. He's also started 6 games, but has 3 saves in addition. 4-0 record, 3.15 earned run average. 31 hits in 40 innings. 26 strikeouts, 22 walks. And Varella's really a 3-pitch mix guy. Fastball, changeup, and a curveball. But the changeup is his most effective pitch. And he'll throw that any time in the count. Controls it well. Left-handers or right-handers, but typically a fastball changeup. Fastball set 88 to 91. So now Richie Cunningham comes up with a chance to try to correct the 3-run bomb that was delivered by Max Kroon, or Kroon in the previous inning, Matt Kroon for Oklahoma State.
Varela delivers. First pitch, ball 1 to Cunningham, who is 4 for 4 this evening. 2 singles, a double, and a home run. All that's missing on that resume tonight is a triple. And he bats here with the bases loaded and 1 down in the 7th inning. Bears leading 9-5. Pitch by Varela. Cunningham holds back, and it's ball 2.
Well, if Richie's going to hit the triple, he may have to do it to that right field line. A little bit shallow and left. Out dead center is Trevor Boone playing straight up in center. Carson McCusker in right field playing a little bit to the pull side.
Big rip, strike 1 to Cunningham. It's 2 balls and a strike.
And that was a changeup by Varela. Even 2-0 count, you saw the good downward action to it. 4-seam grip on that fastball, and see what he features here. 2-1 count to Cunningham.
Gets a piece of this one, fouls it back, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cunningham.
Yeah, good movement down and away. That arm side movement to a left-hander, and see why Varela's stuff is so effective. A lot of action on it.
You know, with that home run earlier, he has 8 home runs on the year. He is 1 shy of the team lead. Shea Langoliers has 9. Cunningham would be second on the team with 8 home runs. 2-2 sends it into the bleacher seats. Foul down the left field line.
Yeah, Varela tried to sneak the fastball by Richie on the inside part of the plate. Well located pitch, and Cunningham fights it off. See if he goes back to that changeup down and away. That's we got the first strike. A lot of times pitchers will tell you how they're going to try to get a hitter out with that first pitch selection. See if he goes back to that changeup. There it was.
Misses outside, ball 3. He's gone to a full count on Cunningham and nowhere to put him with the bases loaded. A couple of walks already this inning by Oklahoma State pitchers. Now C.J. Varela, 3rd pitcher of the night, looking at a full count to Richard Cunningham.
Well, Varela's walked 22 in 40 innings, so he does have a tendency to throw wild at times.
Here's a grounder right side. First baseman underhand toss. He is safe at first base. Cunningham again legs it out. A run scores. Herring crosses the plate, and the Bears go up 10-5.
Well, first base umpire Casey Moser immediately signaled that Varela had missed the bag. We'll take a look at it here in slow motion. It looked like he was searching for it after he made the catch from the first baseman. And it did, we couldn't tell from that angle, but Moser said he missed it. He's looking right down at the bag. And
yeah, if anything, he just left his foot short of the bag, don't you think? Maybe that's what the umpire, Casey Moser, saw that we couldn't see in that replay.
Well, and Varela didn't sell it very well either. It's, you know, when you take that stutter step and you look back like you acted like you missed it. Yeah, I mean, Moser's right on top of the bag. He's right there looking at it. Yep, that was tough. That's a tough look at it. I mean, it sure looked like he didn't sell it very well. Foot may have just missed the corner of the bag.
It's going to be ruled an infield single by Baylor's Richard Cunningham. His 5th hit of the night. He is 5 for 5. Herring scores, 10th run of the night for the Bears. 10-5 Baylor lead. Bases still loaded with only 1 out. And here is Davis Wenzel. Wenzel pops this one back. Simpson giving chase. And it's off the net.
Well, better yet, Baylor gets one of those runs back. That was huge.
Gilcrease, the runner at third, running for T.J. Ragusi, who singled. McLaughlin at second, Cunningham at first. It's a couple of plays tonight that Cunningham has really legged one out and has led to a couple of Baylor runs.
Well, what a night by Richie Cunningham. I mean, you think the 5 hits, obviously, but he scored 3 times. Mixed in a couple of RBIs there as well, and tremendous night for Richard Cunningham. And now Davis Wenzel with a chance to add to the lead.
C.J. Varela with the high set and the pitch. This one is lashed down the right field line. Could be extra bases. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. Wenzel into second. It's a 2-run double for Davis Wenzel. And the Bears up their lead to 12-5 over Oklahoma State.
Well, perfect case of a hitter not trying to do too much with a pitch. And Wenzel gets the elevated off-speed pitch. Looked like a changeup from Varela, which typically is his out pitch. And again, behind the count, 2-1, trying to throw it for a strike, leaves it up in the zone, and Wenzel just goes to right field with it. It's the 2 RBI, the double, and how about that, John? Just like that, the Bears answer with 3 runs of their own here in the 7th inning.
Wow. 17 hits tonight by the Bears, producing the 12 runs. And maybe not finished. 2 on in scoring position, only 1 out. Here's Andy Thomas to the plate. He is 3 for 4 this evening. Cunningham at third, Wenzel's at second. Pitch to Thomas, misses, ball 1. 2 singles and a double, the 3 hits for Andy Thomas this evening. Double, a bases clearing double in the 1st inning. Really got the Bears off to a great start. That 4-run first. And a 4-0 lead over Oklahoma State at that point.
This is what great teams do when they need to do it. You just answer when an opposing team starts to make a comeback and just get back on offense and answer right back at him. It just takes the air out of a potential comeback attempt.
Absolutely huge to cover up runs that were scored.
That's exactly right. And
previous at bat.
Oklahoma State had some confidence coming in. Hey, maybe we got a shot this comeback here, and just like that, Baylor puts their own 3 spot on them.
Well, a walk to Andy Thomas as you see him trot down to first base. That is the 3rd walk this inning. 2 have already scored. Now this one loads the bases for Shea Langoliers.
When you start to look down the weekend in terms of saving some pitchers out of your pen, and this is working out really well for the Bears to be able to do that. Of course, you still got to get 6 outs, but now you start to rethink a 4-run lead versus a 7 or 8 run lead. That changes the dynamics of who you might put in to finish out the game.
Langoliers fouls that first one back. Shea is 1 for 3 on the night with an RBI, a sac fly in the 1st inning. 0-1 pitch. Fly ball, shallow left field. Coming on is Littell, but it's the shortstop, Kroon, who goes back, makes the catch. And tagging and scoring from third is Cunningham. Not deep at all. Not sure why Kroon didn't give way to Littell, who had had the momentum coming in.
That's exactly right, Giles.
From left field.
To say, that's a left fielder who needs to make that call and have the shortstop vacate. There's no way Kroon's going to make that catch and spin and throw. And great job of base running there by Richard Cunningham to read that. When the shortstop made the catch, he just took off towards the plate. Yeah, definitely an outfield mental mistake by Littell not to call their shortstop off.
It is the second out of the inning. It is also the fourth run of the inning for the Bears. Baylor has 3 4-run innings tonight. The first, the fourth, and the seventh. And a single run in the 6th inning for a 13-5 Baylor lead. Here now is Davion Downey, the 9th man to bat this inning for Baylor. Downey takes first pitch, strike 1.
So Shea Langoliers gets the sacrifice fly F6
to shortstop. Still a little rare.
When's the last time you've seen that one?
Yeah, but it's been a long time. A couple of RBIs by Langoliers in the game this evening. Pitch on the shoe tops to Downey. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Oh, heads up base running by Davis Wenzel to take third base as well. And third baseman Michael Newstifter had vacated to become the cutoff man. So as he's in the middle of the infield, Wenzel picks up on that as the throw went all the way to the catcher, Colin Simpson.
Strike 2 to Downey. True freshman for the Bears has come in, really established himself in that right field spot. Freshman from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Bears may not be done. Runners on the corners with 2 down here in the 7th inning. Here's ball 2 to Downey.
Well, the Bears have done everything they needed to do tonight. That knock out the starter early, you get to that bullpen for Oklahoma State. Start working on arms there, and that bodes well. The deeper the weekend goes and the mornings you play, be tough to bring Leeper back until possibly Sunday. Varela's pitch count now up 22. Just the little things you look at when you start to kind of get the view of the weekend, how it plays out.
Yeah, that's it. You get into the bullpen on a Friday night, it affects the entire weekend. Pitch up high. It's now 3 balls, 2 strikes to Davion Downey. Wenzel runs at third. Andy Thomas at first. 4 runs home this inning for the Bears. Get their lead to 13-5. Pitch is ball 4, and the bases are reloaded.
Great at bat by Davion Downey. And again, we talk about the patience of hitters, really waiting on something to have a good pitch to hit, and was down in the count, worked the walk.
So Cole Herring will bat for the 2nd time this inning. Walked and scored to lead off this 7th inning. Bears batted around. 4 runs home, 2 outs in the inning, bases loaded. 4 walks this inning issued by 2 Oklahoma State pitchers. C.J. Varela delivers, misses low in the dirt. It's a ball and a strike to Cole Herring. He's had a nice night himself. He is 2 for 3, a home run. Off the fair foul pole down the left field line. That came in the 4-run 4th inning. Pitch misses inside, ball 2. He scored a couple of runs. Has that RBI. What do you think, Pat? Do you think Varela is out there for the remainder of this game, no matter how long it lasts?
Yeah, hard to tell. I mean, you've got, there's some thinness in that bullpen for Oklahoma State. They've lost a couple of starters this year. I'm sure they're looking at, Josh Holliday will look at saving some arms for tomorrow and Sunday, and it's just what they've, the hand they've been dealt here. And they've lost Elliott and Scott for the season. Counted on Stanley to be their closer, and so you're 3 arms short. Yeah, you're looking down the road here. You kind of thinking to yourself, with a 12-5 or now 13-5 deficit, might try to save another arm from coming in.
3-2 count on Herring. Runners were off with the pitch. Wenzel, Thomas, and Downey occupy the bases for the Bears. Three-two pitch, swinging strike 3, and that is the inning. Bears leave the bases loaded, but they score 4 more in the 7th. On to the 8th inning here at Baylor Ballpark. Our new score, Baylor 13, Oklahoma State 5. You're watching Baylor Big 12 Baseball on Fox. Pitching change for the Bears as we move on to the 8th inning here at Baylor Ballpark. Now Kyle Hill is on, junior out of Corpus Christi Cow Allen High School. He's a junior right-hander. Pat coach John Strauss, pitching coach, likes to refer to these guys as the old men out of the bullpen. Hill, Heineman, Drew Robertson, Troy Montemayor, Alex Phillips, part of that group. And he takes a great deal of pride, and deservedly so, when he talks about the old men doing well for Baylor out of the bullpen.
Well, it hasn't been a bad combination this year. You got the young starters, right?
Exactly.
Bradford Kettler and Tyler Thomas for the most part. And then you've got that great blend of veteran presence in the bullpen. Kyle Hill certainly part of that great staff. And you just look at the stats here. Kyle Hill, 3-1 record, 19 appearances in the season, so this will be his 20th. 2.51 earned run average in 43 innings. Only 30 hits given up. Opponents batting 197 against him. Has a tendency to get wild a bit. 28 walks and 36 strikeouts in those 43 innings. And again, Hill, one of those great power arms. Fastball, low 90s. Good overhand curveball, and likes to work that fastball up in the zone. He climbs the ladder well, and that's where he gets a lot of his strikeouts. But one of those high spin rate type pitchers. Very similar in style to Troy Montemayor, but throws a tick harder. And Kyle Hill now on for the 8th.
With a 13-5 Baylor lead over Oklahoma State. Changes in the outfield. Levi Gilcrease stays in. He'll play center. Cole Herring moves to right. Davion Downey moves to left. So some juggling of the outfielders defensively for the Bears. Hill misses up high. It's 2-0 the count to John Littell leading off the 8th inning for the Cowboys. Littell 0 for 2 with a walk.
And when Kyle gets in trouble, that's typically where it happens. It's up in the zone. He just misses high.
So pop back foul. Roll off the backside of the roof right above us. It's 2 balls, 1 strike.
Borderline pitch there, but Littell gives it a swing, and again, a lot of pop-ups, a lot of fly balls. That's the MO for Hill.
Pops this one up, should be playable. Langoliers tosses the mask away and makes the catch. That's the first out in the 8th inning.
Yeah, Shea's about as steady as he gets as a catcher when it comes to pop-ups behind the plate. Just so smooth defensively.
Really impressive every phase of his game for Shea Langoliers, the Baylor sophomore catcher. Out number 1 in the 8th. Here is Christian Funk to the plate. 1 for 2 with a walk. First pitch misses high, ball 1. Christian Funk, a junior from Fresno, California. It's ball 2 to Funk, 2-0 the count. 3 o'clock tomorrow for game 2 in this Big 12 series. Hope you can join us for the broadcast. 3 p.m. Central Time, then 1 o'clock Central on Sunday, on Mother's Day.
You taking care of Mom yet?
I think so. I think I'm prepared.
That would be, sounds like in deference to your wife taking care of your mom.
Yes, yes. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
I took care of my mom early.
Good.
I won't be around for Mother's Day on Sunday.
You'll be in Manhattan Sunday, won't you?
I will be in the Little Apple. Yes, the lovely Sunflower Battle.
Yes. 2-2 pitch, swinging, strike 3. Kyle Hill strikes out Christian Funk.
Well, that's that high fastball, and if you can't lay off that pitch against Hill, you're probably not going to be too successful. And we talked about Kyle, the ability for that high spin rate off his hand. The ball looks like it rises. It doesn't actually. It stays straight, but it doesn't sink like a typical low spin right fastball. So it's an effective pitch upstairs for Kyle when hitters don't lay off that pitch.
So 2 down, nobody on in the 8th inning. Here's Trevor Boone who wants to do anything but strike out here in the 8th inning. He has struck out 3 trips to the plate this evening.
There is a term.
Yes, there is.
You do not want to wear the golden sombrero.
2-0 the count on him here. Hill rears back and fires, pops this one up, see if it's playable. Foul ground. Nope, it's going to be up on the net. So it's a 2-1 count on Trevor Boone.
You only want to wear that hat when it's your birthday at Chewy's or Papacitos.
That's right.
The only time you want the sombrero.
A festive occasion.
Yes.
Langoliers flashes the signs to Kyle Hill. Working rapidly. Here's a grounder to third. Wenzel bobbles it, picks it up. Not in time on the throw. It's going to be an error on third baseman Davis Wenzel. It puts Trevor Boone aboard for the first time tonight.
I think even Davis was shocked.
That he made contact?
He made contact. I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah. Second error tonight by the Bears. 2 by Baylor, 2 by Oklahoma State.
Yep, fairly routine, just a bobble. That's all it takes when you have some wheels, as Trevor Boone does. Say this about Boone, he has become a tremendous defensive center fielder.
We have seen that this evening.
Yep. Josh Holliday has said, man, he has really learned the position well. Was good before he got here, but has just gotten better and better. Holliday says one of the better defensive center fielders I've coached.
Michael Newstifter to the plate. He is 0 for 3 this evening with a couple of strikeouts. Fouls this one away for a 1-1 count on him. 2 down in the 8th inning. Kyle Hill, third pitcher of the night for the Bears. Cody Bradford went the first 6 2/3 innings. Tied his career high with 10 strikeouts in the game. Joe Heineman followed for third of an inning. And now Kyle Hill starts the 8th. Strike 2, so 1 ball, 2 strikes the count on Newstifter.
There's that sharp overhand curveball that Hill offers that as well, and that's a tough pitch to hang off, especially you see a couple of fastballs kind of belt high, and that breaking ball usually comes in about that plane. He gets on top, it really breaks hard down, just like that.
There it is, and that's strike 3, and that is the inning. Couple of strikeouts in the inning by Kyle Hill. Cowboys retired in the 8th. Bears come to bat, leading 13-5 as we move to the bottom of the 8th. Here's our game summary as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Baylor Ballpark, presented by Mountain Dew, a proud sponsor of Baylor Athletics. Do the do. 4-run innings, the norm for the Bears tonight. 4 in the first, 4 in the fourth, 4 more in the 7th. Building a 13-5 lead over Oklahoma State. 17 hits so far tonight. 5 of those off the bat of Richard Cunningham. Big night going for Cunningham, who is a triple away from the cycle. Matt Kroon for Oklahoma State, 2 for 4 this evening. Had a home run, a 3-run shot in the 7th inning that briefly pulled the Cowboys within 9-5. Bears then opened it back up with 4 more in the bottom of the 7th. That's our game summary, brought to you by Mountain Dew. Do the do. So new pitcher is on for Oklahoma State. This is their 4th of the night. Jake Pearl on the mound for the Cowboys.
Yeah, the hard-throwing junior pitcher from Parkville, Missouri. Jake Pearl, 6'3", 235-pounder, and hard thrower, overhand curveball, changeup as well. And he'll have a new battery mate. Travis Wacker now playing catcher.
So a little deeper into that Oklahoma State bullpen, their 4th pitcher tonight. 4 total, including the starter Joe Linhard. And Josh Bissonette leads off the 8th inning for the Bears.
Well, Pearl making his 5th appearance this season. 4 2/3 innings. Giving up 5 hits. Does have 4 strikeouts, but 7 walks as well. And so control the issue for the big right-hander.
Rayers back, fires it in, called strike. It's 2 balls and a strike to Josh Bissonette. Josh, 1 hit tonight, contributing to that 17-hit Baylor attack this evening. It's produced 13 runs.
Well, we need 1 base runner. Bissonette, Gilcrease, or Lofton need to get on.
You want Cunningham back up.
I got to see Richie get that cycle, man. 5 for 5 night. What would 6 for 6 with a cycle be?
Oh, man.
Never forget that one.
Swings at that one, misses. Tagged out by Wacker, the catcher. And that's the first out in the 8th inning.
Well, good breaking ball there from Pearl. And spotted a couple of fastballs away and finished with the breaking ball.
All right, so we need one of these guys to get on to get Cunningham to the plate. Levi Gilcrease, his first at-bat tonight. Pinch ran for Ragusi in the 7th. Stayed in. Playing center field. Gilcrease told a wonderful story the other night. We had our student-athlete graduate reception Monday night this week. So all the graduates who are student-athletes, very nice dinner, and part of the program was a couple of the student-athletes spoke. Levi was one of them. And he talked about coming out of high school in Florida, and he was homeschooled in Florida.
Right.
He had offers and had committed to another school, and he didn't mention the name of the school. And to be honest, I don't know what that is. There's a fly into shallow right field. McCusker will make the catch to retire Gilcrease. But he met with that team and that coach and committed to them. When he left his office, he said he knew he made a mistake. And he decommitted from that school and wanted to come, and his brother and his best friend were going to that school and wanted to come to Baylor. Just felt like the Lord had placed in his heart to come to Baylor and play baseball here.
How about that?
And look at that. He's here, and he's graduating, and It's a really good success story for Levi Gilcrease.
Yep, great story. And his dad's the chaplain for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Been out there for a long time. FCA circles, and Levi, a great young man.
2 down, Nick Lofton to the plate. It's up to Nick Lofton to get Richard Cunningham at bat here in the 8th.
That's right. All on you, Nick.
It's all on your shoulders. A 13-5 game.
Hey, we'll take a walk. Handle shot, doesn't matter.
High fly, shallow left. Coming on is Littell. But again, it's the shortstop, Kroon, who goes back and makes the catch. And the Bears retired in order in the 8th with Richard Cunningham on deck. Go to the bottom of the 9th. Bears need 3 outs to win this one, leading the Cowboys 13-5. Last chance time for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Their 8-9-1 hitters due up as we reach the 9th inning. Baylor on top 13-5. 20th ranked Cowboys, 20th in Baseball America polls, high as 14th in other polls. Big 12 conference leaders. And Baylor has really shown they have come to play this evening. 13 runs on 17 hits by the Bears.
Yeah, just keeping that offense rolling. It's they have been on fire, John. It's great to see a team that has only played 2 times in the last 10 days come back and be able to turn it back on just right where they left off.
Pinch hitter for Oklahoma State, Cade Cabanis, will lead off the 9th inning for the Cowboys, batting for Carson McCusker. So Cade Cabanis, sophomore from Bixby, Oklahoma. Kyle Hill out there for his 2nd inning of work. Trying to finish this one off for the Bears. Throwing hard, pops it up, left side of the infield. Davis Wenzel calls for it and makes the catch for out number 1 in the 9th.
Yeah, I wasn't sure we'd see Kyle back out for the 9th inning with a 13-5 lead, but again, he hasn't thrown that many pitches. And it could conceivably come back tomorrow or Sunday. Kyle bounces back pretty quickly.
Here is Max Hewitt to the plate. First plate appearance this evening. Hewitt came in defensively a couple of innings ago. Hill throwing strikes. First pitch, strike 1 to Hewitt.
Baylor has plenty of arms in that pen, and what a great job John Strauss has done this season with that Baylor pitching staff. And a 3.22 combined earned run average.
Swinging strike 2 by Hewitt. He's down on the count. No balls, 2 strikes.
You look down the list here with Baylor pitchers. You've got 8 guys with sub-3 ERAs.
Wow.
And you compare that to Oklahoma State, who leads the Big 12 with a 15-3 record. They have a 5.09 earned run average, cumulative. They have no pitchers with a sub-3 ERA. So what a contrast, and we all know what a great pitching coach Rob Walton is. But it has been a scramble in that staff this year with the injuries to 2 key starters and a pitcher that was potentially their closer. And they have, as Josh Holliday said, pressed some players, some young players, into the rotation and midweek starting and in the bullpen that they really were not expecting to have to throw that many innings this year.
0-2 pitch up high, ball 1. Yeah, really good to watch John Strauss and the way he has worked this staff, got them going as well as they possibly could be, and just improved as the season's gone on. Hot shot to Bissonette at short, at second. He'll throw out Max Hewitt for out number 2 in the 9th. The Cowboys down to their final out.
Well, there's another smooth glove on the infield for Baylor, Josh Bissonette. That ball was smashed really hard off the bat of Hewitt. One hopper, and Josh just makes it look easy. Smooth hands, soft hands. That's what you want out of your infielders. You want to cushion those hard shots through the infield.
2 down. Here is Cody Milligan to the plate. First at bat today for Milligan. First pitch, strike one. Kyle Hill continues to throw strikes. A win would be the Bears' 13th straight, continuing the longest active winning streak in the nation. Would get Baylor to 10-9 in Big 12 play and 29-17 on the season. And there's strike two. They're a strike away from accomplishing that. Crowd on their feet. Kyle Hill delivers. Swinging strike three. That's the ball game. Baylor has knocked off Oklahoma State in this series opener at Baylor Ballpark. Bears impressive in a 13-5 win over the Cowboys.
Yeah, no doubt, John. What a great win for the Bears to get off to a great start to this Big 12 conference opener against Oklahoma State. Again, you knock off the first place team in the conference this late in the season. That's an accomplishment, but a great start to this series for the Baylor Bears.
Great start to the series. Game 2 comes up tomorrow, 3 p.m. right here at Baylor Ballpark. We look forward to that. Pat, enjoyed it. Bears big win tonight over the Cowboys. We'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. Central, for Game 2 in the series, Baylor versus Oklahoma State. For Pat Combs and our entire Baylor Vision crew, I'm John Morris. Final score again, Baylor wins over the Cowboys 13-5. We'll see you tomorrow.